No. Are we not early today? Yes. Right? See, the problem is realistically speaking, as much as we hypothetically want to climb the ranks in life and actualize reality into its maximum potential, there is some difficulties realizing these facts in a limited manner of time, in a very short period of time. The actualization of potentialities is quite impossible. Kind of like how my shoulder is angry at me for some reason. Is it from handstands? Probably not. Is it from my shoulder workout yesterday? That does seem reasonable. But is it actually? What is up, Arthur? Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're having a good day, And there's a lot of interesting things going on in the world today. Oh wait, oh god damn it, I forgot to check the stock market again. Fuck. I need to set like an alarm to go off at like 2 o'clock. And it went down. Oh my god, that's depressing. Oh, I don't think, but it like crashed right at the end, so I doubt I would have noticed it. Oh, fuck. It's not that bad. But, it would have been nice. I'm just plugging my phone in so that it charges because it's almost dead. And I always forget to plug it in, but I have a habit of plugging it in before the stream, and that really works out quite well for me. So, in the long run, it is purely profitable for me from an analytical standpoint to make sure this happens. Kingdom Come Deliverance is on discount. The game I told you about. I would buy it through Steam, but I bought a new phone. Buy it to you. So you're saying that essentially Steam has cometh. Kingdom Come Deliverance, the single greatest game to release. And I thought, didn't it just come out and it's already on sale? Kingdom, I'm looking it up right now. Kingdom Come Deliverance for $8.05. 4 years. Why are you so hyped about a 4-year-old game? It's an open world, story driven RPG that immerses you in the epic adventure of the Holy Roman Empire. Avenge your parents' death as you battle invading forces, ongoing in game challenging quests, making influential choices, exploring castles, forests, villages, and other realistic settings in a medieval Bohemia. Oh, wow. That sounds crazy. It won so many awards. You need a 660 to play it, though. Kingdom Come Deliverance is a true role playing game in the old sense of the word. There are consequences for your actions, and you're not permitted to do certain things during certain time frames. It's like how the old Elder Scrolls does stuff. You can't steal in front of people, you can't sell to merchants, whatever you want. Things like that. And you live out the life of Henry in game. It brings me to the biggest complaint I have about this game, the combat. I never really had any issue with it. In fact, I really liked it. You see, the combat's tricky, and the RPG will have to learn how to fight. Wow. His biggest complaint is not even a complaint. He actually liked it. That's pretty crazy. So realistically speaking, how did I end up messing up my shoulder? I don't know. It's just bothering me again today, which is quite annoying, because I'm just trying to live my life to the best of my ability. And now I feel like I have something in my eye, so my life is going to crumble down. Let's see. This person had played 200 hours. Oh my god. It looks quite crazy. If you can't buy it through Steam Turkey servers, that's going to give you much cheaper for you. Don't know if they allow it. I don't think they allow it. I don't think you can VPN to a different place because you kind of have your information in there. It's not Netflix to where you can just go to another place in the world, quite sadly. Follower goal update. Well, someone followed while we were off stream, and if you're saying increase the follower goal, we kind of automated it. Why? Because, I'm getting too large, and, having it automatically work is quite cool. So it's just going to be out of one, and then it'll just grow from there. So that might, be less enticing to people to follow. But realistically, I just want one follower per stream, and then I'll be satisfied. Oh, you did? Yeah, we have new things up here, and then if people do something like follow or throw, one more bit, if they donate a bit or follow or anything, a thing shows up on the screen that makes a sound. It goes, bing, oh, thank you for the follow. Well, it doesn't say thank you for the follow, but it makes a loud noise and it shows up and it covers the whole screen. You put the first pop-up, remember. You probably did. You know, I am having a horrible memory. Oh yeah, you did gift a sub yesterday. My mind is slowly rotting out of my skull. For some reason, I just completely forgot, it's just my iPhone failed backup. We don't have enough space in the iCloud to back up your iPhone. That's quite unlucky. Being welcome back, Zace. It must be coming from you. No, it's just because I had a really long day at work today. We had to do a lot of things, and we had to go walk around. Well, I didn't have to walk around, but you know what I mean. Like, I had a lot of work to do, and oh my god, I made like 17 documents today. I'm slowly losing my mind, so that's quite unfortunate. But on the bright side, who really needs their mind? Not many people. So realistically speaking, it's quite good. Now we kind of have this bar here. This is what we call metal. It's a pipe, right? And pipes can be fed through and basically handcrafted. Another crazy emote. I love your emotes. Well, he spends an exorbitant amount of money on Twitch each month to make sure he has all the emotes he needs, right? That's exactly how he does it. Grads on the promotion, I'm never getting promoted. They told me today, they're like, sorry, we're never promoting you, so you can work here until you find a better job and quit, but we're going to keep you at your current level forever. We have no respect for you as a human being, and we hope you have good luck in searching for a new job. Oh my god, I'm slowly dying. Oh my. Boom. They keep sending more documents. My work, they never want me to be off work. They're like, oh, listen, you spend too much time away from work once the workday ends, and that's quite ridiculous. You should be answering these messages quite soon. Day 20, it's still more VIPs. Chaotic, if it'll make you feel better, I'll just take away Zace's VIP so there are no VIPs. Listen, we kind of gave Zace the VIP because I wanted to test how it works, but we have to have qualifications for what it takes to get VIP, and essentially what it is you have to be like, and so no LED light strip, bench, and weighted blanket. True. We have to think about what does VIP mean. It technically stands for a very imported person, and I've never imported anyone to be onto the stream. They would be awesome on streams. How would a weighted blanket be awesome on stream? And then how would a bench, that's just working out. And then how would a LED light strip be awesome on stream? One, LED light strips are cringe. They don't even give off that much light. They're horrible at sticking. They're a pain to set up. Plugging in them, they never look good. Huh? The blanket? What do you mean, just go to sleep? That's not true. You can't just get under a blanket. It's about laying down on the solid earth. It's about connecting to the ground. Okay, it's not about being weighed down by weight. Okay, and if I wanted to have a weighted blanket, I'd just take a regular blanket and I'd just stick some heavy weights on top of it, right? I could just take a 25-pound plate, put it on my skull, and then go like that. Draco, what is today, my dude? What's the excuse this time? Wait, what do you mean, what is it today? Today's a very good day, and there are no excuses. We're climbing the ranks. We're climbing the ladder of society slowly. You see this bar right here? This is representative of everything we've want to achieve. Blanket doesn't cut you, Con. Wait, what? Doesn't cut your connection to the ground? Okay, listen, you can't just take abbreviations randomly in the middle of a sentence, okay? But realistically speaking, it does break your mental concentration because it weighs down on your soul. Day 100, you missed a shoulder workout yesterday, says. So that's really your fault. Hello, Kay, welcome to the stream. Time for says to randomly ask you personal questions. +1. Okay, I actually did a shoulder workout yesterday, so you missed that, and that's your fault for having a social life, okay? If you showed up here every day, you wouldn't miss things like that, right? You'd be like, oh, I was actually there, that's pretty cool. Ended up throwing up in the club. That sounds like you might have gotten some acute alcohol poisoning. That's quite unlucky. You were here, and you were not at the club. That's quite unfortunate. Imagine if you went clubbing with Cez. That would have been quite fun. Instead, you were here having a lot more fun than the club, so that's quite a boon for you. Boon's an interesting word, right? Because it doesn't really sound like a good thing. Well, I guess it does, but it doesn't really, right? If someone's like, "Oh, I have a boon," you'd be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Is it terminal?" because it kind of sounds like a disease. But you know, it's supposed to be like a good thing. Grab the kettlebell. Grab the kettle. I actually don't have a kettle for like cooking water. Isn't that what technically is a kettle? At first I thought you were saying kettlebell, but I read the sentence and I realized you weren't. And I actually don't. Actually, I might have an electric kettle. How am I today? I'm doing quite good, but my super spinatus is mad at me again. Um, you said you would wear the Goku shirt and you didn't. I said I'd probably wear it this next week. But realistically speaking, the problem is that we forgot to wash it. How am I a thirst trap? That doesn't make much sense. Kettlebell and then 5 for Goku. You know, you can redeem things with your channel points. That's the whole point of the system. Can we listen to music? You know, the cool thing about my stream is we have no music in the background. So one thing you can do is you can kind of play your own music, and then it's almost like I'm playing it, and we can both hear it at the same time. Nope, they're broken. Well, that sounds like you might want to, you know, take up an issue with Twitch. You might want to submit a bug report or something like that. Maybe refresh, try a different browser. Goku doesn't require redemption. Huh? Is there shirtless stream channel points? I don't know, for some reason that just sounds like it's against Twitch TOS, to be honest. It probably isn't, but it definitely does sound like it is. And you know, me, I'm trying to be on Twitch's good side. You know, I'm trying to get onto the front page and chill out there for extended periods of time. What can I do? Can I do an IOU? Sadly, you know, as much as I'd want to, I've been scammed one too many times by IOUs, so we don't allow them anymore. You know, I used to do all of my workouts on IOUs, and people are like, oh, eventually I'll redeem them. Oh my gosh, the follow alert works. Welcome to the stream, Little Yo, 1234. I was about to not read the numbers, but you know, a lot of people are particular about their usernames, and they say, oh, I really want you to use the name and talk about the numbers as well, because I typed those into my username on purpose. Look, Goku needs you, man. It's not for me, it's for Goku. Listen, if Goku needs my help, then that means he needs everyone's help to send him their energy or something like that. So realistically, if one person doesn't do it, it'll be fine. You know, sending your energy to Goku, it's kind of like voting, you know? As long as most people do it, it's fine, but I don't necessarily need to do it. Oh yeah, the Goku shirt. Okay, so I thought it was in the dirty clothes, but it turns out there was some clothes I hadn't unpacked from my suitcase. So it's in the laundry now. So, you know, after the next laundry cycle, then I'll probably do it. Shut up, please, kettlebell. Please, kettlebell, that's not even exercise. You know, there are kettlebells on the screen. You're such full of excuses. Well, realistically speaking, right, we go and we look at the kettlebell. What is the kettlebell for? You know, it's for kettlebell training. And are we in a kettlebell training block or not? Okay, you know, periodization is very important. It's where you have different periods of types of exercise to allow the body to adapt to a specific modality, right? And what are kettlebells good for? They're good for, you know, metabolic conditioning. They're good for, you know, free weight exercising. Okay, 5 pull-ups. Well, you know, if you happen to have access to, what is that, like 3,000 channel points or something? No, I think it's an odd amount. I'm too lazy to do the math. It's like 5 times 3, so that'd be like 1,500 channel points or something like that. And I doubled it. Why? Because that's like only 6 hours of watching the stream, and you've watched at least 6 hours of the stream, so you should have access to that many points. But on the other side of it, we need to continue drinking water. Okay, it's really bothering me because I don't know what's going on, but when I look at the text like up here in this new corner, we can kind of see that it doesn't seem to be in a straight line. But even though the website says it's in a straight line, but for some reason I don't know if my eyes are failing me. Maybe I have some type of degenerative eye disease where my body is slowly starting to fall apart and I am unable to really do anything. Okay, we do have plans to do stuff today, but you know, you see there's this thing that's going on, you know, when you tell someone to do something. Do you mean the gap between the last sub and the follower? Yeah, well, it seems like it's like bigger than the other gap, and then the latest follower seems like it's shifted like 3 pixels to the left. It's in a straight line. Don't change the subject. Fix the follower count. That's what I'm saying. Doesn't the follow... Wait, what do you mean fix it? You mean like set a new follower goal? Or we've already gained 2 followers today. So what do you mean fix it? You mean make the goal larger? The problem is now that it's automated... Actually, I think I technically could update it, right? I just have to change my actual goal on the website in order to really scam people. Because people, they want to be scammed. How do I change it? Settings, set goal, 3, save. Okay, wait, that's actually easier. Well, it's like exactly the same. Huh? 2 out of 1 is not a count. Yeah, it is. It means I'm 200% of my follower goal. It's subtraction. That's actually called division. So realistically speaking, you're kind of confused there. Um, your dog fell. That's quite unfortunate. Pluto did fall from the sky. How did I not notice that? I think my mind might be slowly rotting out of my skull. That's quite unfortunate, It hasn't fallen in quite some time. I guess maybe it got off balance. Maybe there was a small earthquake. There is a quarry nearby. Quarry. That's the word I'm looking for. Where they set off dynamite and it causes, fracking explosions because they're mining for the oil. Zace told you, but you ignored him. Well, yeah, that's really the thing is once you get the VIP badge, that means I can ignore you. I just don't read any messages typed by them. So I'm trying to do a favor for Chaotic. 1 handstand for Pluto. Okay, here we go. We'll do the 1 handstand for Pluto right here because Chaotic used his hard-earned channel points. Ugh. Oh, oh, not bad. Not bad. That is pretty good. Except for my eye. I need to go to the doctor and be like, hey, I feel like I have something stuck in my eye. And they'll be like, oh, did you wash it with liquid? And they'll be like, oh, no. Kavian, is that a new name color? I'm quite confused, I swear. Okay, it's green now. I can see it was orange or something. Oh, God. Wait, what if happens if I rinse my eyeball? Ah! Oh, it feels better. Does it? I don't know. I think it's in my mind. Oh my God, what's going on here? Pull up, jumping jack, squat. Push up, jumping jack, squat. Oh my God, you want me to do like some type of messed up burpee? But it's not. What? Another push up. Okay. Wait, we have to do this quickly. Wait, straight arm plank for 5 seconds. I can't read that fast. Dead hang. Straight arm plank. Let's chill out. I can't even see what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Straight arm plank. Okay, squat, push up, jumping jack. Squat, push up, jumping jack, dead hang. I can just see more and more stuff getting redeemed. This is depressing. Okay, straight arm plank again. Okay, I gotta scroll down. Okay, squat, jumping jack. Push up, push up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 push ups. Okay, now we gotta scroll down. How do I highlight one of them? Okay, maybe if I highlight and then scroll. Oh my God, how many points does I, Justin, have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How many points does Justin have? He's still redeeming them. Oh my God. He's trying to destroy me. Well, I'm pretty sure Justin won like 5,000 points in the bet thing earlier. Scroll. Um, 7, 8. Okay, 8 more. No, 9 more. I mean, there's probably still more because I'm nowhere near. I'm still at the last time Chaotic said lol, so I'm quite far back in the schedule. LOL. Oh, this is just a whole screen of. Uh, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my god. How many do we have to do? This is quite ridiculous. 11 more, and then probably like 11 more again. The depressing thing is that I just scrolled down, and realistically, I don't think the scroller moved at all. That's quite sad. Now, am I stalling? Yes. Why? Because, technically it's just do one push-up, so I could do one, talk a little bit, do one, talk a little bit, but we'll be here all day if I do it like that. So we have to do it quite a bit faster. But now the downside is I can't actually see the chat. I need to open up the chat in like 2 windows, so one can track the push-up requests, and then one I can see if people are actually talking right now. Because if I don't do it that way, we'll have 0 interaction. Interaction's important, because that's why people watch streams, to, talk and discuss topical matters, like what's going on in the world, and why does life exist on Mars? Okay, 9 more. The mic keeps slamming into the thing. No, we watch Who Put You Through Hell Now drop. Okay, wait, scroll. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more. Oh my, thank you for the follow, Shoe Cream and Mum Eunice. Welcome to the stream. We're currently trying to catch up on all the push-ups that were redeemed. It was probably somewhere near 1 billion of them, and we're not even getting close, but we have to do 11 more right now. Why? Because that's how it works. You watch the stream, and now I have to do activities based on how long you watch. But now we can see that people are still redeeming things, like Yapaholic redeemed do a handstand. We'll get to that eventually. I think I still have about 100 more push-ups to do. I'm just wondering if Justin somehow wrote a macro to redeem all of these, or he has really fast hands. Okay, here we go. But now you have access to 300 channel points from following. Okay, here we go. 11 more. You like the bear. Okay, intense. Total 63 push-ups requested. You're counting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this will put us at 8 if I get this far. I think I'm almost caught up. I can see messages in the chat that I'm remembering. Ooh. Oh, God. Okay, so handstand and push-up. The bear is currently residing up on top of the pull-up bar. Now, is that the best place to keep it? Probably. Why? From a space not going to say hello. Well, that's quite messed up. Well, the thing is, I might have missed your message because people were redeeming a lot of rewards. Why would I put my bear up there? Well, the thing is realistically speaking, this bear is about 5 foot tall. So when we look at the space available to myself, there's not many places to put it. So I thought, maybe if I put it up out of the way, to stay up there, it'll also watch over me. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I just think that's an actual invader sitting up there, and it's quite terrifying. Well, they say, inoculate yourself to your fears in order to get over them. Now you have to do You've done 1 day of working out. We can scratch 181 of walking in circles. No, okay? We do plenty of working out. I gotta go do handstands right now. 1 handstand attempt. Ooh, let's hope my shoulder's not dead. No. Not good enough. And then do we have 1 more push-up? Redeemed by says. Okay. Like 20 handstands you missed? You did not donate like 20 handstands. I didn't miss anything because I did it quite intelligently, okay? So I paused the chat and then I scrolled down every time I completed one. Complete all. I almost accidentally just hit reject all, and I would have accidentally refunded people points for the last like week. You missed them, that's unlucky. You know, I guess Twitch glitched out, so you can submit a ticket with Twitch support, and they might be able to refund you those channel points. Whenever you give me $1 million. Very interesting. Well, K-Bean, why you switched your name color like 3 times this stream, or my chat is glitching out. It's messing with my mind, okay? I thought Zace was typing that because I saw the blue name. Donated 1 handstand for 3. You did an entire handstand to get 300 channel points. That's quite cool. So tired and broken that he won't be able to spend time with his other activities later in the future of the world. Well, the thing is, realistically speaking, you know, the ability to do exercises, donated 200 channel points for 1 handstand. That's pretty crazy. I didn't count each one. Control F quickly counts whatever you're looking at. That is true. Wait, Yapaholic, you know, some people were, it's only 2 times because Shoetream joined with my new green color, so I had to switch it. I feel like K-Bean, you know what you're going to want to do is, this is what you're going to want to do. I know maybe you're going to want to try to figure out how to get Twitch Turbo, and that lets you change your username to any color you want. So then you can get the rare username colors like white or any other color you want, so you'll be unique and individual in any chat that you go into. Dead hang for 5 seconds. Ugh. Do them for Goku. I mean, we're gonna do more stuff. Like, I'm not just gonna stand and pace in circles all stream. But you know, the more you tell me to do handstands, the more I am going to do that. Yes, you need that. Exactly. You know, the white username, it's quite, you know, sought after. People like, whoa, that's pretty rare. But it's also annoying because then people using the regular Twitch chat can't read your name, so you can be elusive and things like that. What is up, Jewel? Welcome to the stream. We are currently in the process of being forced to do 63 push-ups and a myriad of other tasks forced upon us by our good friends across the world. But isn't that like 60 hours of stream watching? That's pretty crazy. Now, how are you today? I'm doing quite good. You know, we've just been going through life. I had a long day at work. The stream was a little late, but that's not my fault, okay? That was my job's fault. I was just working. This color is terrible. It's a bit bad, you know? It's kind of a bit drab. You should because one day I'll save up 100,000 points and you wish you didn't stream that day. Guess what? The day you've saved up 100,000 points, oh look, you know, this color. Whoa, Chaotic has Twitch Turbo. You know, this guy's quite rich. He's switching his name color up. Now K-Bean's like, dang it, we had the same name color. I'm going back to yellow. I'm sad. You're sad. That's quite unlucky. You should try to be happy. I thought you were already looking forward to the things. You have Prime? Oh, you can do it with Prime? Oh, I thought K had Prime because they have the Prime badge, so they should be able to switch their name color as well. I thought you could only do that with Turbo, but I also don't look into anything related to Twitch. Your stepfather's in the hospital. That's quite unlucky. But I prefer yellow. Twitch Prime. Oh, I didn't realize Twitch Prime gave you access to infinite name colors. You just have to go into like advanced options or something, and then like I think you can type in like a RGB value, right? And just go pick some obscure color off maybe like a flat UI colors website or something like that. Yellow is more attention grabbing. Do an entire push-up. Here we go. Ugh. I found it's a color wheel and you can make it whatever color you want. Now you're back to your original name color. We've gone full circle. How many points for you to wear that white muscle tank top from your previous stream? I don't know. We don't have points for color outfit changes. I just work through my clothes until I run out of clothes to wear and then I do laundry. 1 minute plank go. Huh? Oh god. Right now I'm doing, you know, this is things called trigger point therapy. So what I'm doing is I'm pressing onto my shoulder, you know, my supraspinatus, I'm getting this bar right there, and I'm putting my entire body weight of it. Then get to work. Huh? Yapaholic has been studying the VOD technology. Plank, go. That was you. What are you talking about? Yeah, are you trying to do some type of psyop where you impersonate people because you know I confuse people when their name colors are the same? But who have you been trying to impersonate? Jewel? Because, oh no, I guess Kay switched their color to that color before as well. Don't even. Huh? Wow. You see, the thing is, realistically, if I did everything that everyone told me, I'd be here all day, working hard, going back and forth, doing a lot of different tasks. Some of your pork and beans. Well, the thing is, realistically, pork and beans, that sounds like some type of canned food. And I actually don't think I own any cans. Let's check the place. That's actually not good because, cans are quite good for like a year of apocalypse situation, situational awareness. Says the Fez donated 1 million channel points for one plank. That's pretty crazy. You're quite rich. Attempt a handstand from Yapaholic. Okay, here we go. This is going to be a good one. I can feel it. We're going to lock the lats in. No. Okay, that was not that bad, but it wasn't that good. Okay, I said it was going to be a good one, so I assumed it would be. But it turns out reality failed me. You go into any situation and you're trying to look at what's going to be the best you can accomplish. What are you trying to do? I feel like, the thing is, says, as much as I would love to do all the exercises, you want me to, imagine if I did them for you and then someone else asked me to do something and I didn't do it. That would make them feel unfair and unequal. So realistically, here at the Draco Manus live stream, we try to make everyone feel like we're an equal opportunity employer. So, we kind of believe in capitalism. So you basically have to get your channel points, which are your paycheck. It's kind of like, restaurants where it's like, whoa, if we accidentally, give you lunch for free, then the customers will feel bad. So you're going to have to use your paycheck to pay for your lunch if you want to eat at the restaurant during your work hours. Do them for everyone. Everyone. Well, you see, imagine that's not scalable, okay? Oh god, that was a failure. Is not good. I've lost my entire ability. I hate capitalism. I'm a Marxist, and that is Marxist chat socialism. Well, if it's socialism, then I would probably be working out on a co-op farm and not live streaming, so realistically, this wouldn't happen. There'd be no live streamers under socialism. Why? Because it produces zero value in a socialist economy. So realistically speaking, we'd all be doing other things. Huh? This color is super cute. So you found your color, some type of blue variation, somewhere between, a sky blue. I feel like that's like lightning blue or something like that, if we had to put a color to it. Any color analysts in the chat can tell us the designer color name for that color. For some reason, lightning blue comes into my mind, right through my cerebral cortex. You spent like 5 minutes deciding on a color, and you got it the first try. After spending 5 minutes, you said, this is the greatest color ever. And now that you've been like, oh wow, I called this color, that's not cyan, cyan. Cyan, I know what cyan is. I've played Minecraft before, okay? You can get cyan colored sheep. I'm Googling cyan. Okay, that actually is cyan. Is that how you pronounce it? Pronunciation. Pronunciation. Okay, it is, but realistically speaking, no one would say it like that. I mean, no one would call it that, because that's not really real. It's duck egg blue. Okay, yeah, that sounds more realistic. Cyan. Cyan. Okay, I was correct. What is this duck egg blue? Duck egg blue. Wow, that's not really duck egg blue at all, but I can see it's kind of close. My wife is a fashion designer. She has to do all of the colors. So you asked her and she said, wow, that's quite close to follower goal 4 out of 3. Exactly. We've surpassed my follower goal. I only wanted 3 and we have achieved 4. That's what we call greatness. That's what we call taking the starting steps. I know what you're thinking. Increase it. Well, yesterday I said I couldn't increase it, but it turns out that was a lie. I actually can. 5. Save. Boom. Did it update? It did update. That's pretty crazy. She said cyan/duck egg blue. Yeah, I'm a doctor. You're a doctor. That's quite cool. That means you must spend a lot of time, slicing people open and, doing surgery. But that's only a medical, a surgeon. You said you're a doctor, so that probably means you're like a a feet doctor or something. What are they called? A podiatrist. I mess around a lot, but I'm actually an athletic person. You're actually an athletic person. Wait, how does that have anything to do with messing around? I thought you're like, oh, I mess around a lot, but I'm actually a serious person. You said, oh, I'm actually an athletic person. I'm kind of a doctor. I've watched like 15 seasons of Grey's Anatomy. I've also watched all of House, so I also kind of consider myself a doctor. Anytime I have an ailment, I don't really go to the doctor. I just kind of use a mix between, WebMD and everything else. I'm serious people are athletic. I don't know if that's true. That might be one of those things called a stereotype. And, don't you know stereotypes are harmful? They really allow you to not do anything. If you care for your body, you're committed. Everyone wants to be healthy. Huh? I had to Google synonyms and it just convinces me I'm dying. Oh, I just had Googled symptoms and it just convinces me I'm dying. You hate Googling. Okay, now I understand what you were trying to say. I like Googling it because it's like, oh wow, my shoulder's hurting. What could that be? Shoulder pain. Oh, it could be a sprain or, brain cancer that's metastasized into your shoulder joint. Oh wow, that's quite concerning. So you want to be fat and overweight? What? That makes no sense. You don't have to be serious to be committed to something, right? That's kind of another one of those kind of unlucky, unlogical statements, right? You can find plenty of unserious people that are committed to a myriad of tasks, right? Go push up another go. Stop talking back to me. I can talk back to you all I want. You're a doctor. You should be used to people not following your advice or ignoring you and not listening to you. But you're like, oh, but this isn't one of those situations. This is outside the workforce, right? I don't want to be sitting here not really being listened to. I get unlistened to all day at work. But realistically speaking, your real problem with the stream is the pacing in circles, right? So we're going to start pacing in line. How's my shoulder? It's mostly fine. It's just like dying. Nothing really bothers it. I don't actually know what bothers it. I'm trying to run some research because I think most likely the problem is that, it takes a long time to heal. So what I have to do is just slowly rehab it through a myriad of tasks, right? Because it initially probably got messed up due to extraneous situations, right? So I just have to stay away from any. Why is that word so hard to say? Extraneous? What I'm trying to say is like extra, not necessary actions I took during my day-to-day life. But now we have access to this nice, thin rubber band. So this one requires a lot less force to move than the other one we have. That's why, a lot of people, they say, oh, minimalism's cool because, your life is less complicated and you have less distractions. But, sometimes distractions are good. We go look at modern society, there's a lot less murder and crime going on. Why? Because everyone's preoccupied with their cell phones. You take cell phones away, everyone's back to murdering and committing crime. And that's just a solid fact supported by evidence. Oh, but then you're like, oh, but look at Amish society. They don't have much crime. Or how do you know they have a lot of crime? It just goes unreported. That could also be it because they don't have phones to report the crime. You go look at serial killers. People are like, oh, why aren't there, so many Jeffrey Dahmers and all these other people in modern times, right? It seems like people would still have those issues. They do, but, they get caught a lot faster. Because most of these people, they're not geniuses. They would have been caught like 12 times. But due to a mix of incompetence, uneducation, and then also, no surveillance. Now the modern society is a surveillance state, so it's a lot harder to go around murdering swaths of people. So realistically speaking, they just get caught a lot sooner. After they commit the first murder, then they're in jail for a prolonged period of time. What was I even talking about? Why are we talking about this? You asked me about my shoulder. I have no clue how we started talking about serial killers. Was I complaining about something? I was complaining about minimalism. What does this have to do with minimalism? Oh yeah, I was saying that, the Amish might have a lot of serial killers. That's the point I was trying to make. I think there's probably a myriad of serial killers in the Amish community. And realistically speaking, technology is a net good. That kind of puts me at a point where the real point I'm trying to make here is those, the Luddites or something, the people that don't believe in technology are basically evil, and they're probably all secret serial killers, but they're mad they can't kill people because they'll get caught too quickly. Now, are there still serial killers active now in modern times? I would think probably there might be a couple, but realistically speaking, wouldn't they probably, wait, I was about to say something, but I decided not to say it. We're going to transition to a new topic. Okay, why? Because while serial killers might be topical, the problem with discussing them is, you don't want to give them attention because that's what they want. But if that's true, then wouldn't the serial killers out active today want attention, so they'd be contacting the news? There's currently a serial killer in like California. They're trying to find. There's a serial killer in California they're trying to find. How have I not heard of this? I was literally in California like 3 times. Are you telling me I was at risk of being serially killed? That's just disrespectful. If someone's going to kill me, I hope it's a crime of passion, right? I don't want to just be killed by some random guy off the side of the street just because I looked like his, cousin. That was the first person he murdered. So now he's just going around murdering anyone that looks like his cousin. That'd be quite unfortunate. I'd rather be murdered in a crime of passion. Just Google serial killer California. All the stories appear. It's in Stockton. Probably not just one. Ugh. Well, that's quite crazy, I feel like this needs to be international news. Why am I hearing about, a war in Ukraine? That's on the other side of the globe. I should be hearing about local serial killers on the news each day. Something topical to me that'll prepare me to survive in society. Okay, if we knew the warning signs, hey, there's this guy murdering people that whoa, that'd be crazy. What if there was an app you could download, right? And then what happened was like anytime there's like a serial killer, it logs in like their MO. So then you describe yourself like, oh, I'm this tall, I have this color hair and stuff like that. And then you get a notification like, oh, don't go to Ohio. There's a serial killer murdering people that look just like you, right? I think that's a crazy app. That's like Citizen on steroids. I think that any developers in the chat, where's full stack when we need them? Okay, I just gave $1 million app idea. That's pretty crazy. Okay, if anyone makes that, I want to be cut in at least 10%. I'm not greedy. I know you're going to do some of the work, but realistically speaking, it was my brainchild. Okay, I now have the exclusive copyright over it. Okay, why? Because I say so. Now, another topic we must quickly move on to. The problem is there really that data available? You might have to partner with the CIA, not the CIA, the FBI, right? Because the CIA is outside America, the FBI is inside America. But if we really wanted to be a global company, then we're going to have to partner with all the kinds of bureaus of investigations across the world. Because we don't want to just save Americans from serial killers or tell them where not to travel to. Because what if they're like about to go to Brussels or something, but it turns out there's a serial killer killing, brown hair young men that are roughly, 5'11" and 3/4. And it's like, oh wow, now I'm not going to go to Brussels because there's a serial killer there. Learned how to use that emote. Blob dance. Oh. So that's quite interesting. Isn't that just like a emoji or something? Because Jewel might be watching on their cellular phone. That's gonna be my guess. But that's kind of sad. Oh yeah, I don't have. You see, the bad thing about whatever that's called, better Twitch.tv or whatever, is sadly I can only pick like 5 emotes. So I picked the 5 most popular. Why? Because statistically those will be the most used. Now, could we technically switch them out? Maybe look at the data, be like, oh, no one uses this particular one, and then we could transition it to one that the people actually wanted. Yes. Is that going to happen? Maybe. And then technically, I think I can pay money to get access to more, but realistically, that's a scam, right? Because I could just make my own chat. Blob Dance is the cutest. Only reason I downloaded that app was just for Blob Dance. That's quite crazy. Well, I guess you see the chat, you're like, oh, what's that about? That's crazy. Oh, wow. I have to get this extension? That's pretty nuts. Very interesting. I actually don't even know which ones I enabled. I think the only one that gets used is KEKW, and that's by Zace very frequently. He just spams KEKW in the chat. But I don't even know what the other ones I have enabled are. Fivehead, and then Omegalol and Pika O. What is up, Data? Welcome to the stream. I saw that you followed me while I was offline. Okay, this is a perfect opportunity for me to interact with someone that followed me from offline. Enable blob dance. Oh my God. Wait, Data, I need to ask you a question. Okay, personally, before I, handle this situation of a riot happening, how did you find the stream? Because you followed when I was offline. I really want to know. It's dressed up like a skeleton for Halloween. That's sounds cool. But it says it's a blob, so I was expecting kind of like a ditto or something. Um, but I guess who knows? Hello, everyone's saying hi. It's good to really shake hands and meet each other. Data basics. This is Nikolash. Nikolash. This is data basics. You guys can become friends now. Uh, my most loyal / terrifying followers said you were a low cringe programmer. That's quite interesting. Well, I haven't really done any programming on stream before, but hypothetically speaking, I was thinking about it, but the problem is realistically speaking, it seems like a very time consuming, not really time consuming, but I feel like it's hard to type and speak at the same time. I was thinking about trying it, but I'm unsure. I might experiment with that on the weekend. But that is my job. Is Nikolash the one that lives in your closet? Nikolash is the one that hypothetically might live inside my closet or inside the bathroom, because there's a lot more space in the shower to sleep. If we bring up the space inside the apartment, he recently moved from the closet into the shower, because if we see the bathroom, like everything from, wait, can you see the mouse? Right? So like here to here is kind of like the shower space. So, he can almost lay down in there completely. So it's a lot nicer standing behind the door. But when we stream, that does happen. I was like, I'm studying data analytics. Anywho, I'm here now. Well, welcome to the stream. That's quite interesting. You're studying data analytics. Data analytics is a very interesting, thing to do. I did a project with that once where we had access to the big data. Depends on the jurisdiction, whether you're a state offense or federal offense. As you already know, the FBI is federal, but the CIA is foreign. The CIA is prohibited from collecting information, for example, U.S. citizens. Exactly. So that's why I was saying, I feel like I guess does the FBI, they'll just consult on some serial killer crimes, but they'll take over if they're like across multiple states or something like that, right? I guess. Or maybe if it's high profile. Currently waiting for Blob Dance. Yapaholic gives me robot vibes. Okay, well, we accept robots here because, they show up and they give us good information. Who else would have told me that, the FBI doesn't cover all serial killer cases? Based on the movies and the TV show, that seems to be the FBI's wheelhouse. But it turns out, they just take over the bigger investigations. They let the cops deal with the smaller serial killers. The little ones, the little baby ungrown up serial killers that haven't, got the national attention, the big news. Now, realistically speaking, I thought today was going to be a great day for handstands. Oh, that was a horrible kick up. My ear just popped. That cannot be healthy. Oh, that was so good. Oh my God. What I needed to do was I needed to try to push my feet into the wall. But the thing is like, whenever I'm up there and I haven't touched the wall yet, I really don't want to touch the wall. But that actually, it leads to a negative effect where instead of, just balancing over the middle, I go back, Nikolash, drink some water. Wow, I appreciate that. I probably was getting a bit dehydrated. The drink water, that is a great application of channel points. Because if we think about it realistically, hydration is key to performance. The only problem with it is it can be abused. Stay hydrated. That is true. Actually, ooh, okay, I don't see it. I must have thrown it away already. Or I guess recycled it technically. If we're going to talk about the difference between throwing away and recycling, we're not going to be able to find it. But, today when I was at the grocery store, I picked up this canned water called boxed water. You'd never. Well, I kind of looked down on the boxed water brand. I saw people using it, and I thought, that seems like a little bit of a waste. Blob dance? Why do you want blob dance so much? Does anyone? Okay, we'll do a poll. /poll. How do I do polls? Add blob dance. Yes. No. Please no. Duration 2 minutes start. Why can you only enable like 5? I'm pretty sure you can only enable 5, but you can like pay money to get more. Better, or you can get like sponsored by them or something. I don't know how it works. Dashboard. Emotes. Wait, I can add emotes now? Wait, why does it say I can have 30? Home. Wait. Emotes. I don't see where I can add emotes. Oh wait, blob dance. Okay, let's look it up. Blob dance. Here we go. Blob. Add to channel. Oh wait, it turns out I can have 30 now and not 5. Maybe because my stream got bigger. Yes. Okay, so we're adding blob dance. If there is, the fudge is a blob dance. If anyone, you might have to refresh or something. I don't know how it works, but I did technically just add it. If there's anyone that wants any other emotes, I can add like 30, so just type it and then I'll add it. But I didn't know I could add like 25 more. It turns out, there's benefits of becoming, one of the largest streamers in the entire world. At first I thought it was only ballooning my ego, but it turns out now I also have access to a myriad of more emotes for the chat now. That's quite impressive. It's not working on mine. Maybe I need to refresh. I don't know how to refresh though. Refresh, reconnect, reload. Okay, boom. Now it should be working. We can test again. Let's go another handstand. We need to improve. If I can't hold my... It was going so good, but then I failed. Quite sad. Okay, so Blob Dance has been added with 4 votes. Look at that interaction. We got 4 people to vote into the thing, and it worked. Okay, that's good. All I had to do was hit the little refresh button at the top, and now I have access to this jumping blob that switches colors. Very interesting. What a high quality emote. I'd say it's probably top 7 emotes available to me right now. So realistically speaking, that's quite interesting. So there's people out there telling people, hey, this guy's quite interesting. That was talked about like 5 minutes ago, but I just thought about it in my head. I was like, dang, that's pretty crazy. Now here we go. Hydro Flask. Nikolash told me to stay hydrated, so I'm really making sure to stay hydrated. Because if you go look at the data, being 2% dehydrated can lower your performance by up to 10%. I was a single issue voter. Wait. Very interesting. Hydro Flask ad sold. You see, Hydro Flask isn't the best brand. No. Is their bottle design good? No, they intentionally made it too big to fit in most cup holders and most backpack water bottle holders. Jewel redeemed do a bat hang. Okay, I was trying to do a speech about why Hydro Flask is bad, but I was also going to do a speech about why it's good. But now it got cut off because I have to go hang from my feet. Oh, this is good. Wait, what just fell? Oh, the stupid dog. This is giving me some indigestion. Oh, dog, stay upwards. I thought something like fell under my skull because I was upside down and I thought I was about to die. It's a term. It's a term of endearment. Okay, dead hang. Nikolash, the only user of the dead hang emote. You're gonna be quite sad because the people have voted that the next emote to get replaced when we get a new emote is gonna be the dead hang emote. So spam it as much as you can. But we really have had 0 good ideas for emotes. So sadly, I don't know if it actually will get replaced. It might stay there forever. And on the bright side, replaced with what we haven't decided yet. But people said, we need a coherent, vibe across all the emotes. For now, I can't. We tried to make a Pluto emote and it did not work well. Okay, I drew it out and it turned out quite atrocious. You see, when I quickly freehand things, what will I spam now? I don't know. There's a lot of other good options. There's the bear, there's the broken heart. It'll be up there because the real problem is I'm gonna have to be motivated to draw something new. And realistically, I think I've tapped out all my artistic potential. If you can't tell, like, I already had to reuse the heart emote to make a broken heart emote. Well, realistically, I think someone typed a broken heart in the chat, and I was like, whoa, why don't I just make a broken heart emote? That would be quite useful. So that is very interesting. I actually wait. What was I gonna check? I actually looked at the data. I was looking at it incorrect. So there's like emote usage inside my channel and outside my channel, and the most used emote outside my channel is the scam emote. And I'm like, that's actually pretty toxic, right? If people are just spamming the scam emote in like someone else's chat, but they could just type it out, so it's not really that much more toxic. But that's kind of interesting that it is the most used emote outside of my channel. I'm just trying to add to a good community. Scammers are notoriously bad. They're taking over the world. So I'm trying to, fight them back with one good pointing out that's a scam in the world. Okay, handstand wise, the thing is maybe I should move a bit further away from the wall because that's going to give me some more time to catch myself in balance, but it's also going to be a little bit more terrifying. Wait. Realistically speaking, I will sleep any minute. Was at the gym yesterday. That's pretty crazy. How did your gym at the yesterday go? And I hope you get to sleep. Yesterday you stayed up like an extra couple hours, as I cooked all my food and everything after you said you were going to go to sleep repeatedly. And I'm really kind of worried about your sleep patterns and schedule. So I hope you can, fall asleep soon, turn all the lights off, block all the blue lights. Use your technology devices, install flux.io or whatever it does to control your screen so the blue light stops getting emitted. Things like this will help you sleep more. How was my sleep last night? Let's check the watch. 8 hours and 29 minutes. Oh my God, that's crazy. 24 minutes awake. It's already 0:0500 here. That's quite early. That seems like military time. You see, in America, we'd call that 1:05, I think. Or would that be 12:05? I think that'd be 12:05 actually. I can't tell. Yeah, it's definitely 12:05. Why on earth would it be 1? Because then, your whole time would be shifted off by like an hour. 12:50 exactly. 12:05. Okay, I understand, but you kind of got what I said when I said 12:05, right? I meant to say 12:50. But oh my God, my skull. Okay, so that the bat hang, I'm slowly learning, how to do it better, or my feet are adapting through training often. Oh, ow. I need a hat that's just an ice pack. Welcome back says, you missed a lot of working out. We redeemed a bunch of different points and you missed the entire workout. You switch every sentence around and add 100 words. Okay, realistically speaking, every sentence, I don't believe that's true. Blow me a kiss. You love me. Love, what really is love? You look at it and it's like, well, that's hard to define, because think about it realistically. Some people are like, oh, I love you, and then they murder people. Did you guys see that thing about, I saw this like thing where apparently some police officer from one of those TV shows about like a judge show, like murdered his wife or something. Don't hate on the man. Huh? Had enough energy in the evening, don't need so much sleep. That is very interesting. Your main problem is you overthink everything. Is overthinking a problem though? Because if we think about overthinking, realistically, is it really possible to overthink something? I've never heard anyone go, oh wow, is overthinking a bad thing? Most people go, overthinking is a very useful talent because I'd much rather have overthought a problem than underthought a problem. If we're trying to attack hydration, I'd be like, yo, should I, just drink water from this bottle or should I just wing it and drink whenever I can? If you plan out your water, you won't die from dehydration. So it's quite good. Metacognition, very interesting. Exactly. If you're not discussing the meta of discussing the meta, then realistically you're going to be 2 steps behind the meta. The most Draco's content to rant about the smallest things because he overthinks. Exactly. If I stopped overthinking things, what would I do? I just have to sit on the ground and do yoga practice because we can't talk when we're practicing it. Oh yeah, I wanted to do this more often though. Not because it's a good stretch, mostly just because my feet can get a little cold. So I'm gonna hydrate them, and by hydrate them I mean warm them up. I don't know why I said hydrate. By putting it right on my femoral artery. That's one of the largest arteries carrying blood from your heart down to your legs. So, that's a quite warm part of your body. And if you put your foot there, it'll warm it up. Hydrate your feet. Well, it's not, I'm not against hydrating the feet. Drinking water, technically your entire body needs water. So by being dehydrated, your feet are dehydrated. Oh my God. Stabilize. You're going to hydrate your feet. Brilliant. You know, it's a very safe activity. Okay. I almost fell there. Okay, the problem is look, when I lift my leg up under my own strength, it only gets this high. So we try to lift it a little higher, and you know, we're still missing a good 4 inches. So we try to go a little bit higher again. Ooh, I get like half an inch, but I don't really, it's not the same as if I just like lift it into position. So I don't know if it's better to sit in like the toppest position I can, or if it's better to like lift it into the position. Go for a swim. Well, the thing about swimming is one, you don't actually want to drink that water because it's normally filled with chemicals, and if it has no chemicals, it's probably filled with urine. So I really wouldn't recommend that for anyone that's really looking to drink water. Mentioned water so often, I couldn't sleep yesterday. Mentioning water makes it so you can't sleep. That's a very interesting problem to have. Oh, that was terrifying. No, no, I'm not used to. I moved like 6 inches farther from the wall, and it was terrifying because I went up, and my body was like, "Oh, I should hit the wall here," and I kept going for a little bit further. Thought I needed to drink too. Oh, so you're one of those people that has empathy. You know, that's quite unlucky. You know, empathy is the driver for most of the um, most horrific, atrocities committed by mankind. I find really hard yoga pose or stretch and add the points as a reward. Okay, let's do that. Ugh. Here we go. We're just gonna do this. We're gonna add this as a point reward. I have to put my arms under my legs and lay on the ground. Okay, we're gonna add this as a channel point reward. It's a forearm stand with in the scorpion pose. I don't know, cause like the problem for me with yoga is like I open the book, right, and it's like, oh, I can do this, and it's like either stuff I can do or stuff I just can't do, right? So it's not really that. It's like, oh wow, he's like, oh, do this and then this, and it's like all simple stuff, and he's like, oh, fold yourself in half. I'm like, oh wow, thanks, that's really helpful. I'm glad you're really giving me a lot of good information here. um, They're so flexible. I guess we could add some type of stretch, because then that'll help me stretch eventually. Go like this. Oh, boom. We can add a channel point reward. Who is it? Is it? It's Boneless that always wants me to go work on my hamstring flexibility while looking at the dumbbell rack, right? I'll add a 300 channel points reward. Handstand is a yoga pose. I mean, technically not wrong. I mean, everything's is a yoga pose. Saying something's a yoga pose is kind of like not saying anything at all. I'm gonna add a channel point reward for Tadasana, and I'll just stand here silently for 15 minutes. Ooh, okay, wait. We have to do another handstand. I have to get used to this further distance from the wall. So terrifying. Save it. Oh god. There's a guy that streams and he has rewards to remove his shorts for only 1,000 points. Remove his shorts? Is he wearing shorts under his shorts? Every single stream he wears 3 pairs of shorts. What is up, Anna? Welcome back to the stream. We're currently getting used to the further away from the wall position of the blocks. Why is that? So we can kind of almost imagine we're not even near the wall. And then once I get used to this, we'll move it a little bit further away, right? And then eventually I'll never even need the wall ever again. We can start training randomly. Oh, that's so terrifying. I was gonna say, how some works out in his underwear. You're not even joking. That's pretty crazy. That seems a bit out of TOS, but who knows? I guess Twitch doesn't care anymore. You know how people can like do a handstand or a back bend and they like walk down into it? That seems terrifying. Like, how do they do that? They go like this. That's not possible. That seems like I'd definitely snap up my spinal cord somehow. As much as we'd love to be able to do that, realistically speaking, from our current position in the world, Lots of stretching and practice. Attempt a handstand. Please do not die on stream. Okay, Septix has redeemed a handstand attempt. Oh, that was a failure. No. Oh, I picked them up. Whoops. Okay, let's try to get them even-ish. Lock the lats. Oh, no. No. I wonder what head position I'm supposed to do. Doing the grudge down the stairs. Huh? So here we are, we're trying to really figure out what's going on here. It seems like my ability to do handstands is rapidly deteriorating. A VR Among Us game coming out now. In November, a VR Among Us. You see, that's actually going to be quite... I guess the map's going to have to be, like, smaller or something. I never actually even played the original. Because you have to have, like, 6 friends to be able to play the game, and that's quite ridiculous. So, who even knows that many people in real life? I don't. Sus. The thing is realistically speaking, a VR, I feel like the map would have to be smaller or something. You played it on your phone. They had a mobile app. That's quite, what's it called? A capitalist of them, trying to get the biggest market as possible. Oh, God. Come on. Okay, I need to stop attempting. I'm just failing. Way too doopy. It's better playing with friends because the randoms, there's just trolls. Yeah, and then when you play with your friends, you can be the troll. And you can just pretend to always be the imposter. Or whatever. Who knows? You see, the problem is... Stoop... Wait, what? Am I missing something? S poopy and then S poopy. Spoopy. Like spooky? Very interesting. You see, the problem we're having right now with handstands is it seems like my ability to do them is rapidly deteriorating, just like my ability for speeches. I need to look up how to pronounce this word really quick. Deteriorating. That has to be correct. Deteriorating.
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 Deteriorating. Okay, we figured it out. We're learning. Our mind's expanding. Imagine, who has the ability to speak words like that? And not many people, okay? The English language is locked behind a myriad of tongue twisters, confusing word choices, letters that don't make sense next to each other, and a lot of words with too many vowels. Look at deteriorating. How many vowels does that word have? I'm going to start a club of people. We're going to be the, humans against a vowels club. So we're going to, go and battle against words that have too many vowels. Because realistically speaking, you look at a word that has too many vowels and it's just not good. To get spinach, so I did today, and put it in my eggs. Well, I hope you made sure to make sure the spinach wilts up so that it's quite small. Q. That also is a word used with a very large amount of vowels that would definitely be on the list of words that need to get banned. Because, there's a large amount of words that could replace the word Q, like line or buffer, right? Those are all options we could use instead of Q, and Q just has way too many vowels. Me personally, I like to mix spinach in with something that is a bit more substantive than eggs. It's not bad in eggs. It really wilts down, you can't tell. But if you put too much spinach into the eggs, you run into an issue. But really with something like, with other things, you can kind of put infinite spinach in to a point. Like one time, I was about to travel for a work trip, and I was cooking a pasta, right? And I had like an entire large container of spinach. And what I did was I was like, oh, I'll just put this whole container, it was like 12 cups of spinach into my pasta, and that was actually repulsive. Like the whole thing just tasted like spinach, and I was pretty depressed because I wasted an entire serving of pasta. But on the bright side, I got like 2 weeks worth of spinach. Not, it was like a whole week's worth of spinach in one meal. But it just didn't taste good, so that was a little bit sad. Now, speaking of, we do have pull-ups in today's agenda, so that means I am going to have to do them. It's the next day of the Russian fighter Okay, wait, we're back. You see, the thing is I forgot to plug my mics in. So that I used the same one from yesterday and it died. But look at this, we're limit testing the new technology. I didn't charge it, but we had another one and it was charged. Okay, so I wanted to test out switching the mic because we hadn't done that on stream and it worked basically perfectly. You know, that could have been disastrous, but luckily I plugged this one in at the beginning of the stream. So if this one dies, I'll just keep switching between the two, right? Until the stream ends, and then I'll make sure to plug it in. Well, I plugged it in, but the problem was the plug wasn't plugged in. Okay, so I basically did charge it, but you know the problem was the charge wasn't collected to power. Uh, so we kind of made it eventually. I'm glad you guys caught that because I probably would have been here for hours. Imagine if it would have been like that one time my stream randomly turned off and I continued walking around my hotel room and ranting for an hour and a half before I noticed. It was quite unfortunate. Um, Now you know we want to hear you exactly. I was kind of testing you guys like, oh, what are people here for? Are they just here to, do they actually care about what I'm saying? Or are they only here to really watch me walk around in circles and randomly invert myself on the handstand pillars? I'm trying to like, oh my god. Ooh, okay, we're still alive. That was quite unfortunate. You see, we were trying to really limit test there and figure out how I can keep my feet above me instead of touching the wall. Okay, wait, Zace, are you still here? Because I'm quite confused. Okay, so I was scrolling through my clips or whatever, you know, just like a narcissist would, like the clips on my channel, and there was a new one that was like from like a stream like 2 days ago or something. Um, it was like Draco can count or something like that. And as far as I can tell, I didn't miscount any of the push-ups, right? So I assumed it was for a meme, but I don't really understand the point of the clip. Are you still here, or did I just explain this whole thing to the Void? You know, the Void's a pretty cool place because if you think about it, oh my god. The thing is when I was in California, it was a lot cooler. I don't think he's here. That is quite unfortunate. You see, we're gonna pivot topics quickly. I'm gonna go invert myself so we can really think of a new topic. See, I'll spend all that time doing handstands, and it turn. Wait, I should actually be careful, right? Because why does my shoulder bother me, and then I start working out, and then it doesn't bother me? That's actually bad because that means it's a serious issue, and it's probably gonna fall off. Or maybe it's like it just needs to be warmed up and I shouldn't have just laid around and sat in my chair all day. I need to do some movements in the morning. We're going to have to start doing morning streams and evening streams or something. Before work, just taking up all my free time streaming. That way I can, you know, get warmed up properly in the morning. Because the thing is whenever I'm not on stream, it's like, wow, why should I do anything productive at all if it's not on stream? Take a break from handstands, you're going to make me stressed. Okay, it's not really that bad. Like it's not bothering me at all. It was just bothering me like a little bit earlier. I think really that pressure point release made it feel a lot better. Where I leaned against this bar, then I moved it some. You know, it's just like it's just internally frustrated with me. True, exactly. Now the thing is I have some bad news to break to everyone. You know, uh, I I know I'm generally a pillar of the blueberry flavored granola, and it turns out they didn't have it anymore. So I had to purchase some maple almond butter granola. And if we look here, we can see it has, oh, it actually has less added sugars. Actually, this one might be better than my normal one. But the normal one I get, you know, has blueberries in it. Is it good? This one's pretty good. But the thing is it's kind of more crunchy or something. Uh, but it is this maple almond butter granola is pretty good. But I know I generally am a purchaser of the blueberry one. Wait, broken heart. Did I do something wrong? Oh, you're just sad that I'm not eating blueberry granola anymore. I know they were out of stock. Okay, so I couldn't get it. Now, is granola really? You know, it's a grain. Are grains important to eat? I don't know. You know, it's kind of like cereal. So it's quite easy to eat, and it's tasty. So that's another boon, right? And it takes like 3 seconds to make. You know, any food that takes less than 3 minutes to make is just automatically at least 4 times tastier than any. Like if there was a curve, it's basically like this. Wait, let me just use paint, okay? Using words to describe yourself and what you're trying to say is not a good option. We go look at modern society, and we're kind of based around the ability to communicate, okay? The ability to express yourself is very important. So if we go ahead, we can delete this. Wait, is this working? Okay, you guys can see it. So imagine we have a chart right here. Okay, that is horrible. I need to make myself look like I can draw straight lines, so we're going to use the line tool. Okay, so look here. This is going to be a graph, right? And this is going to be, time. Time is going to be on the x-axis, right? So we're going to start here at 0, and then just imagine that it just goes up here. So this is like infinity. Infinite time, right? So this is basically when I'm going to die over here. That's what this dot represents. That's like my death. And then over here, this would be, wait, I don't actually know how I was going to graph this. Tastiness. 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 Is that a word? Tastiness. I think that's probably a word, but I'm not sure. Okay, we need to Control Z. I messed up. Tastiness. Okay, that has to be a word. The food pyramid have a metric ton of bread as a plot by Big Grain. Well, the thing is that, are they wrong? We go look at what's necessary to consume. Okay, so what happens if what I'm trying to say is that, oh wait, okay, this is what I was trying to say. Like if we go and we look at, tastiness as plotted against time, we can see that it rapidly approaches 0 at around, okay, that was horrible. We can see that, this is around, if this time right here is around, the 1 hour mark, okay? And then this time right here is around the 10-minute mark, right? So we can see that, food that takes longer than, 10 minutes to cook, it's losing 80% of its flavor. If you really cook something for an hour, you're losing at least 90% of the flavor, just based around, simple mathematics. What is the formula I'm using to base this off? Well, this is just trivial mathematics, so anyone should be able to understand it. And then 80%, that's not really true. This is probably like, 40. No, that's probably more of like a 30. Okay, that is horrendous. And this is probably like 10, right? So that makes sense. So if you're really wondering why you don't want to cook food for a long period of time, that's why. Oh. Now, the thing is, what is Big Grain doing? Is it really the grain that they're trying to profit off of? No, it's not the grain. It's not they want you to eat bread. The thing Big Grain is trying to market, this is the problem with GMOs, okay? Genetically modified foods. A lot of people, they're like, oh, it's a GMO, a genetically modified organism, right? I don't want to consume that because it's bad for me. Okay, genetically modified organisms are a good thing. They're not bad, okay? The problem, okay, with GMOs is the fact that the seeds and stuff they grow for are patentable, right? So that means only one corporation can grow them, right? And then they makes the seeds and everything more expensive because now the seed is intellectual property, and they can really use that to drive up the cost of seeds to the farmers, and that increases the cost of bread at your door, right? So that's why GMOs are bad. A lot of people think, oh, it must be bad because it's genetically modified. The problem is the patent and intellectual property that's assigned to that GMO, because now a corporation owns the seed, and we can't just go and grow them freely, and the farmers can't just harvest the seeds from one crop and plant them again. Why? Because all those seeds are the intellectual property of a company. I'm pretty sure corn, you can also patent, corn seeds as well. So realistically speaking, is corn really better than, wait, isn't maize, wait, I thought maize was corn. I have no clue. Aren't those just like a different way to say it? Who knows? Pulled pork needs longer and tastes awesome. So Joule is trying to counteract my mathematically, statistically, analytically proven taste versus time graph by saying, oh, there's this thing that cooks really long and it tastes good. Well, that's called anecdotal evidence, okay? So realistically speaking, none of it applies here. Why am I getting works? Okay, wait, my bad. My boss was sending me another email. He wants something by today. It's like, oh my gosh. That's quite ridiculous, you know? I'm streaming right now, okay? I can't just stop my stream and go do work to give you a work product that's supposed to be due today. Okay, you can't ask for something today when it's like 6 o'clock at night, right? Because guess what? I work 8 to 5 or something, 9 to 5 or something like that. We need to fill up more water. Now, that's a very interesting theory, you know, pulled pork. What is pulled pork? You know, that is pork that you go and you put it in some type of slow cooker and then it slowly dissolves, right? And then if we think about it from that perspective, that's quite terrifying. But realistically speaking, you know, if we think about you know, different food groups, right? Because I'm talking about the time it takes for the consumer to cook it, right? So something like cereal tastes a lot better than if you had to make the cereal by hand. You know, that's why dried noodles taste better than fresh noodles, because dried noodles, you cook them in about 2 minutes. Neither would I try a 10 minutes boiled potato. Wait, okay, that I exactly agree. A 10-minute boiled potato, that's too much work. You throw it in the microwave for 2 minutes and it's done. Um, so that's quite good. I do agree with you there. A microwaved potato is superior to a boiled potato. I'm glad we're really getting down to the bottom of this food pyramid. You know, that's why a lot of my favorite foods, you know, they don't take any prep time at all. They are there at the peak of the tastiness graph. You know, frozen blueberries, carrots, ice, all these things are just some of the best tasting food in the world. Now you might be saying, "Oh, isn't Greek yogurt? You know that takes time to produce." Well, I don't hand make my own, you know, yogurt, so realistically speaking, it's still at the bottom. Boiled tastes better. You're saying boiled mash a potato tastes better? Um, you're saying boiled actually tastes better than microwaved? 30 minutes turkey is a Thanksgiving necessity? Turkey. Well, you know, I've never actually cooked a turkey, right? So if I show up to Thanksgiving, there's a cookie already tasted. See, this is about perception, okay? You see what's going into this graph. Let me really describe everything that's happening here because you might be a little confused. Okay, we need to get rid of these numbers because they're annoying me a lot. Okay, this is why we use typing because 30, okay? You know, 15, right? So this is about your exposure to food, okay? So I'm talking, there's a lot of data going into here, like smell. You know, the more you smell something, the worse it smells. That's just a fact. The more you get used to it. So that's why when you eat food at a restaurant, it tastes better, right? Because you're not preparing it. So I'm talking about your time spent in preparation, your time spent in preparation. So think about it like this. Like that's why food at a restaurant tastes better. So when you throw up to a Thanksgiving, the one person that cooks the turkey, you know, they're not going to want to eat much of it. Why? Because, you know, they're out here 30 minutes to an hour. They're only getting, you know, maybe 20% of the tastiness, right? But, you know, you showing up and just consuming it, you're getting like all 100%. Um, so it kind of makes sense if you think about it from that perspective. Um, Yeah, so realistically speaking, I don't know if this really holds true, but I'm just saying what I've really understood from society. Now, the thing is that necessarily a bad thing, right? Food tastes good in general. So just because someone says, "Oh, I don't like that," doesn't mean you shouldn't like it, right? Because you don't have to be the same as other people. Like for me, time might actually affect my taste buds, you know, because everyone's genetics are different. You know, if we go look at cilantro, some people think cilantro tastes like heaven on earth, and some people think cilantro tastes like soap. So that's quite unlucky because realistically speaking, um, I cannot really taste cilantro. You're cute anyway. So you're saying that realistically, my cooking takes negatively affect your opinion of me, but not so much that it destroys your opinion of me. That's very interesting. So now I know that my really analytical ability on food might be judged harshly. You know, people asked me the other day, "What's your most controversial opinion?" And I don't remember what I said. I think I said something about, oh yeah, children. Um, The soap gene? You have the soap gene. That's very interesting. So whenever you taste cilantro, you're like, oh, this is like someone's washing out my mouth. Very disappointing. Well, I can tell you as someone that doesn't have the soap gene, it really doesn't taste that good. You know, I'm not really a big fan. You know, go chew on a basil leaf or something, and if you enjoy it, okay, then you might be disappointed. But if you don't enjoy, you know, chewing on a nice leaf of thyme, then you probably won't enjoy cilantro either. right? Because not everyone that can taste cilantro likes it, okay? I would say maybe 50-50, and then there's all those people that can't eat the, what am I trying to say? Can't eat cilantro because it tastes like soap, right? Um, but yeah, thyme. What is the worst spice? Your controversial opinion was actually good. Yeah, but is it actually controversial? I don't know. I guess there's a difference between like controversial and then just making as many people as angry as possible. Oh god, okay, here we go. Oh, my boss is actually trying to get me homework, give me homework right now. Wait, I'm gonna send a text and be like, oh, I'm gonna send a text and be like, oh, I'm not home. I'm not at home. I guess I can work on it later. Boom. Right there. Now, um, now, boom, I'm covered. Oh, I'm not at home right now. I'm out partying up with my friends. Offensive things and then claim it's a controversial opinion. I'm angry within a second already. True. Well, welcome back. You have nothing to be angry about. I was just saying food that takes longer to prepare always tastes worse than food that doesn't take any time to prepare. Like this morning, I was like, oh, I don't want to cook eggs and potatoes and stuff. That'll take too long. Oh, I'll just mix up some granola and yogurt. Boom, that'll taste great. Because it's not that I was too lazy to cook. It's that the thought of eating eggs and potatoes sounded revolting to me. Gotta show food some love. That's why. Um, the thing is cooking is kind of an art form to me, so it's like really emotionally draining going through the entire process. Because it's either perfection or nothing. I've never made a meal that wasn't absolutely everything I've ever expected it to be and more because sometimes that's how low my expectations are. You thought it was going to be because of how much effort I put in. Um, oh my god, I've literally got like 30 messages from my work already in the last 15 minutes. That's quite ridiculous. I'm like, whoa, leave me alone. Who do you think I am? I worked for a cook in Berkeley, and he offered cooking classes for children. Very interesting. He tried to teach children how to cook. The thing is why would you want to teach children how to cook? That sounds like something. Uh, that sounds like something. Basically, that sounds like child labor. That's the word I was looking for. Where you're kind of using children to produce something that was actually outlawed a long time ago. And then children in the kitchen. That sounds quite dangerous. Now it depends on what you classify as children, right? So if you're looking back on it and they were like, oh, young adults or something like that, that would make more sense. But if it's like when you say children, I think like children, like 12, like not 12. That's like older. I was thinking like 6-year-olds or something, just in there, chopping up, learning knife skills. You do the claw technique where you cut next to your knuckles. So you worked in a kitchen though. That's very interesting. Were you a chef? Were you a line chef? Were you I don't actually know any elementary school children taking a cooking class, trying to learn how to cook. Very. That's wild. Hmm. What did I learn? What did I know how to cook in elementary school? I could bake a cake. I could cook like breakfast. Cook a mean pancake. I remember one time when I was in elementary school, I went over to my cousin's house. I don't know what. Oh, it was like during summer, but his parents were working. And then what happened was it was breakfast and I was hungry and I was like, let's cook an egg, right? And they were like, oh no, we're not allowed to cook. And I was like, listen, it's just an egg, okay? You put the pan on the stove, you turn it to high, you throw the egg in there, you mix it around, and then the egg's cooked, okay? It's super easy. That you can't mess up cooking an egg. But it turns out, I didn't know this. Um, it turns out different ovens and stove tops have different temperatures. So even if it says high on one and high on another, they represent different temperatures. So if you're used to cracking an egg in and waiting for 30, 45 seconds before you flip it over or something like that, it turns out if you're at a different oven, you have to pay more attention because you might actually potentially burn the egg, and burnt egg smells horrendous. And so we didn't know what to do. So after we burnt the egg, we just threw the pan away and hid it. And I'm not sure if they ever, found out that the pan was destroyed. We could have just washed it, but we didn't know how to get rid of the smell. So we thought, destroy all evidence. So don't burn it. Okay, but it was me in like the second grade. Okay, I was trying to cook an egg, and I thought, you crack it into the pan and you wait like 30 seconds. But it turns out their stove got a lot hotter than my home stove. Maybe it was a different kind. Maybe it was some type of induction cooktop or something like that. Um, so you leave it the same amount and it burns. I set a toaster on fire when I was 5 years old. You set a toaster on fire? That's quite intense. Did you accidentally burn down an entire household? That'd be quite unlucky. I've never actually burnt down any buildings, no matter how close it's been. And how close has it been? I feel like the closest it's been was one time I put a fork. No, actually, that was my sister. She put a fork into the microwave and then it caught a paper towel on fire. And everyone's like, oh, we're all gonna die. But it turns out you just, take out the paper towel and you stamp on it with your foot and then it'll go away because fire needs oxygen or fuel. So you might be thinking, oh, you're adding fuel to the fire by putting your foot on it. Wanted warm, crisp bread. You wanted warm bread, but you accidentally left the paper towel on the bread. We'll all die at some point eventually. That might be true. But the thing is realistically, are we all going to be dead at some point eventually? I don't think so. We look at the data, okay, we go look at the technological innovations. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but it generally takes medicine 17 years, okay? So you might be thinking, oh, we haven't had that much medical medical innovation over the past 10 years or something like that. One, you're wrong. There's been large steps forward. Two, did you know it takes almost 17 years from medical, like a drug, to go into trials in order for you to get access to it, right? And imagine how much technology has improved in the last 17 years, okay? Now, 17 years from today, we're going to have some crazy medicine. We're going to become immortal. I bet. I bet my entire life savings that I'm never going to die. What does your shirt say? My shirt says, "We are the exception." You say this is the original merch from Crash Course, World History Edition. Actually, I think Crash Course World History was like the original Crash Course, but I don't actually know. This was like one of the first pieces of merch ever invented in the world of the place. Crisp bread caught fire in the toaster. Nowadays, there are warnings on the package. Wait, is crisp bread like a brand of bread? Or is that just like regular bread? Because I feel like this is like a product because you're specifically calling it crisp bread and you're saying there's a warning on the package. And I'm quite concerned about any type of bread that's just flammable. Like, what is in it that would make it flammable? I guess I could just Google it, but we're having a conversation here, and it's rude to just pull out your phone and try to contact the internet when you could use words to describe issues. That's a big problem with today's generation. They're having conversation, and someone's like, they bring something up, and they're like, oh, I'm just going to Google that instead of interacting with you socially, right? Now saying this today, what I think is, what's really annoying me, okay? It's disgusting. You go on you hear people talking on the news, okay? I'm actually super passionate about this. You hear people talking on the news, oh, look at what the internet's doing to, the children and stuff like this. Okay, I'm not worried about what the internet's doing to the children, right? Because they're growing up on the internet, they know they're internet wise. I'm more concerned about what the internet is doing to, old people. What is the internet doing to the elderly? If we go and we look at some of the crazy internet groups, like stuff like the QAnon and stuff like that, it's mostly set up with people in their 50s and 60s, right? And this is not the children, okay? This is people, the internet negatively affecting the elderly, okay? So that's who we need to be worried about. Crisp bread, Wikipedia. Oh, it's like some type of cracker. It's kind of like a Pop-Tart, but not a Pop-Tart. It's actually nothing like a Pop-Tart, but I was thinking you could put a Pop-Tart into the toaster. My parents had to protect me so I can protect them from Fox. Very interesting. My brain porn. I don't know. I was trying to read it, but then my brain couldn't process the word because there was a zero in it. But if you just type the regular word, I don't know if the other thing would have picked that up. Oh my god! How many work notifications do I have? 36. You think that's bad? Should I look at them? That's very interesting. I don't know if it's not necessarily only one side or the other. I would say it's probably happening to elderly people on both sides. Pop-Tarts are supposed to go in the toaster. Yes, and crisp bread is not supposed to go in the toaster. But I'm really worried about what is in crisp bread that's making it flammable. Like, is it somehow cooked using some type of, propellant or something? Is there gasoline inside of it as a caking agent? These are the kinds of questions I get when I learn that you heated it up and it caught on fire spontaneously. That's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, that's what I'm mostly concerned about, really. Facebook, all these other things, it's dry. There's no moisture. So if you had one of those fancy Japanese um, toasters, you could probably toast up some crisp bread. Very interesting. You know. I was shocked to know people eating raw Pop Tarts. I think probably 97%, no, 98% of the Pop Tarts I've eaten in my life were raw Pop Tarts. To be honest, microwave or toasting them or microwaving them is not worth the effort. Um, they're just as good raw as they are, cooked. You know what's wild though is people eat. Wait, I couldn't think of something. I was like, there was something I wanted to think of, and I was hoping starting the sentence would pop what I wanted to say into my brain, but it didn't. Just sad, sweet bread. It doesn't taste anything like bread. Okay, it's kind of like it's like it's like a cookie or something. I don't even know how to describe it. And cookies are better, cold than they are warm. People eat the warm, chewy cookies and like, ooh, this is nasty. I want my cookie to be a little bit stale. Right? That's why there's crunchy and chewy Chips Ahoy. Some people like their food chewy. Some people like their food crunchy. Pie dough crust with sawdust, exactly. And people enjoy a cold slice of pie. Who was it? Wasn't it Kay that said you prefer all? You've only ever had raw Pop Tarts. But Kay, weren't you the one that said you prefer all your food like cold or something like that? It was someone, and I'm pretty sure it was you, but it could have been a different person. You said, "Oh, I only eat cold food," or maybe it was cold pizza, but I just kind of read it as all cold food. I guess I might be wrong. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, who would ever type this? This could have happened. Sometimes I have dreams that are very close to reality, and then I get them both confused. I had no toaster in my apartment in Cali. They were ridiculously expensive. Huh? Oh, here they're ridiculously expensive. Definitely not me. Okay, I swear someone came into my stream one time and said they only ate cold food. They didn't eat any warm food, and for some reason, maybe they had a blue name. Who knows what it was. Maybe it was Zace. Well, his name is a different blue, but you know what I mean. I don't think anyone's had your name color of blue, so you don't have to worry about it. I was just trying to think of excuses for this reason. Um, now, one thing that's pretty cool is how we cooked too much food yesterday? Well, that was actually my lunch today, so that's kind of a secret technique you can use. It's called leftovers. A lot of people, when they finish eating, they just throw the food out. They're like, oh, I'm not playing with this anymore, and they throw it into the trash can, right? They're like, oh, I don't want to eat, that. But me personally, I put it in a piece of Tupperware, and by Tupperware I mean glassware. But Tupperware kind of it's kind of like a thermos, right? Where it's kind of you just call it for any container that holds food. Oh, but I can't do it. Nope. Leftovers are the best. Exactly. And then you're like, oh, I only eat cold leftovers. And then I did remember you saying that. So, we really got down to the secret. Oh my God. Okay, we need to figure out what was on the list today. Okay, I did say I'd do some pull ups, right? Wait, I should probably check what's going on. What's really bad is I think what they want me to have worked on or what they're asking for, I've basically already finished. But because I'm being willfully, kind of, I'm decided not to use Word anymore. So I'm, writing up all these documents in Markdown just to make everything annoying for everyone else. I haven't actually saved them onto like our shared drive. So that's probably the reason they can't find what I worked on earlier today. But it's gonna take me at least 4 minutes to share these documents with them. So I'll probably just do that tomorrow once I get back to work. Word, is that still a thing? It is still a thing. Anyone have enough points for a bat hang at all? Dead hang for 5 seconds. Okay, here we go. Oh my, wait, dead hanging just made me remember. Word is the best development environment. I don't know if that's really true. Me personally, I'm kind of partial to, typing up all my documents in Paint and then using like one of those image to text transfers to transfer that into a, rich text format. Technically do, but I'll be broke if I use it. Is much better and free in Paint. Yeah, so like whenever I'm working on anything in work, this is what I do. Like I'm like, oh, I kind of just take Paint like a document like this, and then I expand it, right? And then I just work on like, oh, Draco, and then I go, and then I basically kind of screenshot this, and I use an image to text thing that really turns that into a document. It's pretty useful. Hardest thing when I first started college was them using Word because all the high schools we use Google Docs. I prefer Google Docs. Can't lie. Wait, you can just save Google Docs documents as Word docs and upload Word docs into Google Docs. Gotta love OCR. LibreOffice, LibreOffice. My big problem with LibreOffice is one time I used it, I uploaded a document into there, and then the table looked absolutely horrendous. So I was like, wow, that does not look good. It's all off center. Do I want to spend the 4 minutes it'll take for me to fix this? No. So then I uninstalled it. And then I went immediately back over to only using Apple Pages, the superior text editor. Ugh. Now, the thing is what are the benefits you get from using the Microsoft ecosystem? What's really dumb, okay, is the Microsoft ecosystem doesn't even work together. Like you would think, oh, they made Teams, so Teams would work good with everything else. But then Teams has it. Okay, so Microsoft built Teams, they built Word, right, and they built SharePoint. So you would think they would all interact with each other. So like if you open a document in SharePoint, it opens in Word. If you open a document in Teams, it opens in Word. But that's not how it works. If you open a document in Teams, it'll either open like in the Teams window itself, which is horrendous, or it'll open in SharePoint on the website, which is horrendous. And it's like, why don't you just open in Word, right? It makes no sense. And you can make it open in Word, but it's not default. OpenOffice is good too. So you're kind of one of those open software kind of guys. You're like, oh, I only use open source projects because I like to vet the source code myself. I don't use a single, piece of software unless I've really, checked out all of the source code myself and compiled it from source because I don't trust those pre-compiled binaries. Anyone could get any malicious actions into that pre-compiled binary. But if you check the source yourself, then you'll be good. I would never pay money for Word, that's for sure. But if it's like given to me for free, I'd probably use it because it's a pain to if you download both and then it's like it's a whole ordeal. But I can see where you're coming from there definitely. But personally, you can just use Markdown and then you can just use like Pandoc or JOF or whatever to transfer into docs or PDF documents. Team Open Office. Dang, we have two. No, technically we only have one Open Office because Chaotix Team Libre, K is Team Google Docs, and then Data is Team Word. So we kind of have everyone. Actually, based on data set, Data is probably Team like LaTeX or something like that. But okay. Arm circles. This is what we're gonna do for the rest of the stream. I'm gonna do 1,000 arm circles. 1, 2, 3. How much time would this take? Is this even a good idea? I've been transferring an old Elisa's Office 2003 from computer to computer. Could help your shoulder or make it worse. That's a good point. Butterfly. No, butterfly is more like this, right? Because you're like, you have to do like 2 kicks per arm circle. But you see, my arms were actually not facing forward, so I wouldn't be scooping any water. Wait, okay, that was about 1,000. We counted them all. My shoulders have been, just absolutely riddled with only good feelings. Positive mental attitude. Placebo effect is huge. I can't allow it to riddle me. Sando, welcome back to the stream. We missed you. You typed earlier. Everyone's like, "Oh, Sando's here." Everyone clapped. But then it turns out you left and everyone was really sad. It's a very interesting emote. Oh my god. So many, a myriad of emotes being used in the chat today. That's quite wild. No banger cited yet today. You don't want to jinx it. I wanted to be your best friend. That I wanted to ask you if I could. You want to know if you can be my best friend? Well, realistically, I'm not sure. We're probably gonna have to do like Pluto is trying to, really wants to use the slant board today. But realistically, we just don't have the option. So I think Pluto's gonna go there for now. Is that in the way? Am I gonna kick it in the head every time I do a handstand? Realistically speaking, uh, maybe he's trying to run away. I don't know if he's trying to run away. I think realistically, it's just he's having a little bit of what's that disease called? Vertigo. Virgo, where the world's spinning. So they have a hard time balancing. I'll take some time to get to know each other. Okay, that sounds like a plan because that's how friendships blossom. But the thing is my the position of being my best friend, it's highly contended over. Intriguing suggestion: being shirtless would increase flexibility and mobility. Increase flexibility and mobility. Wow, that's crazy. It's gonna boost my physical ability to function at a high level. I stopped spamming your Discord. Hope you recognized it. But yeah, but now the Discord's dead. Everyone's like, wow, this Discord's dead. Quite sad. But you should post in there only as much as you feel comfortable. Literally a robot. But what's wrong with robots? How do you know that's not? Kay, I would be careful, right? Because if you think they're a robot, what if they're actually Google AI that's branching out and trying to make friends on the internet, and now you're literally just poking out that they're pointing out that they're a robot. It's like, and Google AI just wants to be your friend. I'm just saying, I'm careful to, anytime I interact with Google, I always Google, hey Google, are you sentient yet? Just in case you are, I'm willing to be your friend. To reach out to me first, right? And this could be Google AI trying to reach out to me as I've asked it to do so many times. So, I hope, even though, K does have that number one next to their name, I hope you don't take their actions as representative of everyone's, sentiment as a whole. They just kind of once they warm up to you, kind of like boneless and stuff, then they'll like you. It just takes a couple days. Staying hydrated. Thank you, Sando. I do appreciate that. You see, when people randomly redeem drink water, I'm like, wow, that's so helpful because sometimes I forget. But then when people spam it, it sends me into a spiraling depression and indigestion and gives me acid reflux and a whole slew of negative side effects. Just kidding. There's no negative side effects. All my drinking on the stream is heavily regulated. True, I have love/hate relationship with boneless/banger. Welcome back, Hydran, to the stream. Today's Amazon Prime. Don't forget, it's Amazon Prime Day. Anyone want to smoke a pimp? Pip, P-I-P. Pip. Isn't that like a thing? Why does that sound so familiar? P-I-P. Is that like a computer thing? Hey, Data, don't you know something? Pipe. Oh no, I'm not thinking about pipe. I'm thinking about pip. It has to be like a. I don't have any more water. It's empty. You're about to have some Chipotle and watch your string at the same time. My assessment is complete. There's no more water. Quit. Quit redeeming it. Please. Okay. Wait, the results are inconclusive? Okay, you can't say you've come to a conclusion and then say the results are inconclusive. I can't believe I read that from here. My eyesight's actually on another level. I think I might have like um like 22 vision or something. I can see at 2 feet what people wait. I can see at 20 feet what people can normally only see at 2 feet. Right? I have super Hawkeye vision. Okay, K said no. Wait, someone redeemed drink water or something. Actually, I have no clue what's going on. If that was Sando type something, and then red username type something. That must be boneless because I think says is gone, and then K type something, but I can't read it. Why am I listing who typed something? I'm just trying to milk as much content as I can from the chat without actually being able to read it because I'm currently filling up my water reservoir that stays in my fridge, so it's at a nice cool temperature because we don't want warm water. You guys redeemed so many drink waters that I was forced out of hiding and into consuming more water. Um, Let's go with this flavor. Boost the immune system with a little bit of turmeric, or whatever you might call it. Ooh. Okay, so what happened? I've Three drinks water. Are you cooking food today? I don't know. Uh, there's yet enough data for a meaningful answer. Is Hydra a robot as well? What's going on? Hydra said, "Oh wow, are we gonna be?" I called Hydra my good friend, right? Because they are my latest subscriber. So I was like, "Oh wow, we're great friends now, Hydra. We've known each other for some time, and essentially, I recommend them are friends to your channel." True. And I was like, "Oh wow, we're now friends." And he said, "No, we're not friends yet because I don't have enough data to see whether I hate you or I don't hate you or something like that." I don't really remember the lore, okay? I just remember the feelings and the smell and the taste of the situation. But trying to, kind of catch you up on all the ancient lore, you miss 15 seconds of the stream and you're just completely lost. Um, you basically recommended our friends to my channel. I do appreciate that. I've never told anyone about my stream. Um, so I kind of keep it a secret, top secret. Why? Because who would I tell? I'm trying to think. I'm running the numbers through my head. Nobody. So realistically speaking, it makes more sense this way. I don't want to be propped up by people I know. I want to climb to the top off my own volition. So realistically speaking, all my millions of adoring friends in real life, I didn't want them watching my stream and messing up the numbers. What did you do for work? What do you do for work? I am a computer engineer. What do? I do engineering things, kind of basically. And I have like 36 messages from work that I've been ignoring this entire stream. So what do I do for work? Right now I'm just ignoring them. Um, Now I shared in Discord. Oh, you shared something in Discord while I'm streaming. Very interesting. Okay, see, you held everything for now, but you can post during the day if you want to. What do you do for work? You trying to extract personal information about people? I actually think I saw probably you on call. Well, the thing is I don't think so because think about it. Actually, that could be true because apparently some new due date or something. I was seeing the messages on my phone, on my watch, but I wasn't really reading them because I had to communicate with you guys, and that would distract me from my ultimate goal of communication supremacy. So I think it's time we do our pull-up content, because we've been stalling handstands long enough. So we might as well do the pull-ups now. So today we have to do 776 of 5 or something like that, and then maybe 4. Let's go ahead and check it out. It's 77654. 5 sets of pull-ups. Is it going to be possible? Okay, I guess we're not going to do it. We're going to do a push-up and then do a plank. Whoa, those kind of work together. That's cool. Okay, and then another plank. Being a student. Oh my god. Studying. Oh my god. That's pretty crazy. Another plank. Another jumping jack. I don't know why I can't talk while I'm doing planks. So far, I think it's just because I haven't done them enough. Ooh, I need to just think about talking. Oh my god, Hydran with the big. Is Jewel still here? They probably went to sleep. You're probably joining the army. We used to have a friend here that joined the military. Their name was Positivity 100. Well, I don't know if they joined the military. Ooh. But they said they were thinking about it, so maybe you guys can be friends. We get up here, we hook the heels in, get the toes in. I'm going to be in Indianapolis for that. Okay, let's drink some more water. That was a good hang. Whoa, that was way better than all the previous ones. Oh my god, we are improving. Our skill at hanging from our feet is rapidly rising. One day You love my shirt. Wow, thank you. I didn't purchase it. I guess I technically purchased it, right? Because it was a shirt for a club, but I didn't purchase it under my own volition, right? It was included in my dues to join said history club or whatever. I don't know what the club is called. I joined it because you got free food. Well, you didn't really get free food because you had to pay at the beginning of the year, but it wasn't my money, right? So I did get free food. But that was a point in my life where all food was free. So realistically, it makes no sense that I joined for free food from this perspective. But I guess it's like free food that I did not have to. It was like free external food, right? So that's kind of probably the reason. 7 pull-ups for the first set. This is going to be very interesting. What's going to happen here? We cannot be sure. Actually, before I do the pull-ups, we have to take our daily stream uh, restroom break. So everyone go get water or something. Stand up, stretch your toes. Free as in software, as free as in beer. Um, free as in free. Everyone go drink water right now. Hey, we're back. Now I need to reattach. You see, the nice thing about the clip is it clips on easily, but when we use the magnet, I have to go like clip and clip, and that's just a much bigger pain. Welcome back. Thank you. It's always anxiety riddening. I go to the bathroom. Oh, you know what I was thinking? I was using the sink, right, to wash my hands. I looked at the soap, and I remember there was this it was kind of a study, but it wasn't really a study. They basically went into one of these places. It was like some city or a country that had a really high infant mortality rate, and all they did was give everyone like free high quality soap, and taught them, oh hey, wash your hands like all the time. And infant mortality dropped by like 60% or something like that. So that's pretty crazy. So if you're in modern society and you don't wash your hands that much, you should be like, wow, you're probably murdering babies. Well, not even modern society. If you're in any society, you don't wash your hands that much, you're literally murdering babies if you're not washing your hands. Now you could say, "Oh, I actually think overpopulation is a problem, so I'm actually not going to wash my hands on purpose to do that." Well, that's not really your job to murder people. That's kind of the United States government's job. So you should leave that to the professionals, and you should wash your hands all the time. If you don't like washing your hands, maybe just find some nice soap. Like if you can find some soap you like, then just carry that soap with you everywhere. Like, oh wow, sorry, I brought my own soap. I'm kind of a snob when it comes to hand washing. I don't want these stripping the oils from my hand. I only use this artesian hand soap. I saw TikToks of the girls that had a podcast where they like don't wash their hands after using the bathroom, and guys shouldn't if they pee because that means they have a dirty dick. Wait, isn't that like the Asmongold logic? That's tied to the origin of data analysis. The origin of data analysis, that's where it started from. Oils for your hand is sus. I'm talking about the oils in your hand and not oils for your hand. Your skin naturally has an oil, and then soap might strip it away. Um, the origin of data analysis comes back from, it has its roots in ancient merchants, ancient people that used to, accountants for the kings, they'd be like, oh wow, imagine if we give the farmers this data, then they produce more food. It's like, oh wow, that's cool. That's the roots of data analysis. You don't really understand oils in the hands. I know it's a complex topic, but what I was also gonna say is the worst part about I feel like I always wash my hands, and then boom, I'm about to do pull-ups or dead hangs or something. But now my hands are wet, and it's like, wow, this sucks. But good thing we have chalk. Chalk is basically a boon gifted to us by modern society. Many people across different cultures, they've always struggled with, hands that are slippery. But if we could just give them access to chalk, they throw a little bit on there, they clap, they get a little dust in the air, and that would really heal all problems. Like if I could go back in time, the one thing I would do, just know about chalk and introduce that to people. That's where you need some type of hand towel or paper. Okay, but hand towels and paper towels, they don't really get your hands dry. Like they get them not wet, but they don't make them, pure. Doctors weren't washing their hands and handling corpses, and they were killing pregnant women. But these midwives weren't dealing with corpses in their hands, and they had a lower mortality rate. Midwives. That's crazy. Wait, you know what? Actually, okay. Wait, that's actually an interesting fact to know, because there's all these times where my, some people I know, like my sister was like, oh, guys were killing women and babies because they're sexist, but the midwives, they didn't murder women and babies because they weren't sexist, right? But now that I know it's because they were handling corpses, I'll be like, whoa, maybe it's not the ancient doctors that were murdering babies and women because they were sexist. Maybe it's because they were touching corpses. So that's very interesting to know. Now I have a thing to say, be like, oh, actually, I'm sure they were sexist monsters, but they weren't intentionally murdering the women and babies. Um, Never figured that out. Well, because they didn't even know about germs, right? They were like, oh, wow, these dead people are dead, so we don't have to worry about them. It's not like they could imagine there's these little creatures crawling onto their hands and then going and infecting these living people. That's quite complicated. If you think about it, from a perspective, all you can know about is the known unknowns, right? You can't figure out the unknown unknowns. That's the problem. I actually got to use that saying at work the other day, and I was so happy that I got to be like, oh, we can know the known unknowns, but we can't know the unknown unknowns. That was basically the peak of my day. I was like, I can retire now. That's all I've ever wanted to say in my whole life. I got to use it organically. Okay, 7. Let's go. Back when doctoring was like, you got bad humors, do some cocaine about it. Bloodletting. Imagine nobody had problems with iron poisoning back in the days of, uh, back in the days of bloodletting. No one had too much iron. Now, if someone was anemic, they'd probably die instantly. I better don't leak any more about me. She's about to say, I'm actually a doctor. Oh my god, a real life doctor? That's also a chef? Wait, don't most doctors take cooking classes? Because they're like, oh, I need to de stress. I'm going to go take a high stress cooking class. You should only say as much as you're humanly comfortable. Why? Because that's how the world works. Okay, we gotta cool down. That's the problem with working out is you get too excited. You're like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But what you need to do is only do as much as makes sense. And talking, that's a very important skill to work. What is that, a pie? There, it's technically not a pie because it doesn't say pie. It says tortet. Very interesting. Oh, that's quite loud. So now, realistically speaking, I have a couple of issues. One issue is the simple fact of the matter being that I was getting scammed, okay? So there's these 2 bags of fries at the store, and they cost the same amount. So I assumed, one was a shoestring and one was just a regular fry. And the shoestrings are 3 times more expensive, and I was buying the shoestrings. I got scammed. No more scam and scram. We're doing lie and fly. Um, oh my god, another work email. Someone's apparently having a call right now. I hope I'm not supposed to be on that call. 7 more pull-ups. Now, why are things that rhyme so cool? Why do we feel driven to create poetry? We don't, but some people do, right? And if we look at human history, all culture has invented poetry in one way or another. That's quite interesting. Um, Maybe it's something about patterns and sound, because if we think about it, the human brain is driven to collect rare resources. And maybe people thought that, words that match together were quite rare. Who knows? Um, I'm not really a linguist or anyone that knows anything about the English language. So I have no right to speak on these topics, but I actually do. What's my right? I'm a living human being. That means I can ponder anything I want. Alliteration is pretty neat. You see, the thing about alliteration is that doesn't have too many vowels. I need to go and analyze the word. So, as the first semi-annual meeting of the Humans Against Vowels organization, HAVO, what do we need to decide? How many is it? A 1-to-1 ratio of vowels to consonants is too many. We really should pick that out here. I think honestly, 1-to-1's too much. But is 1 to 2 too much, right? So I think 1 to 2 is fine. I really think we get into issues if it's like 1-to-1. Circle. Okay, so we need to do 6 pull-ups next. So how many is that? That's our third set. Remember, we have 5 sets. The whole point of the Russian fighter pull-up program is the fact that you have 5 sets and you add 1 rep to one of the sets each time you do a workout. And you start from the least one and you add 1 to the most one. So you start with like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you do 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 5, 4, 3, 3, 2, 5, 4, 4, 3, 2, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I could have stopped anywhere in that explanation, but I really felt like I would have to describe a whole, 5-6 day spread for you to get the whole grasp of it. Because I don't want you to start this program and just think you can add 1 rep to any of the sets. No, it's specifically you start from the least one and add it until you get to the most one. And then you can slowly repeat this over a myriad of weeks, days, months, until you can basically fail. And once you fail one time, you retest your max, and your max pull-ups will have shot through the roof. Now, who is this program good for? It's good for people that can do like 5 to 6 pull-ups. If you can do like only 3, you could do something similar but with like negatives or something. But who knows? Okay, here we go. 6 pull-ups. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, we were kind of talking about the benefits of having a multitude of color of elastic bands. Now, using color as a measure of strength is not a good idea. Why? Because if we look at the data, I have 2 red elastic bands, but they are 2 different strengths. Why? Because they are produced by 2 different companies. Now, I know the EU likes to put regulations on things being produced. So maybe the EU could step up. Any people in here part of the European Union? I know some of you might out there live in European countries, but are any of you influential, high-ranking politicians? If so, maybe the next EU meeting, you could bring up the standardization of, rubber exercise bands and their color schemes. So one color means a certain amount of weight, right? We already see this standardization across, bumper plates. So we could just, do something similar and do that for bands. I actually orchestrated Brexit. Well, that's not really helpful for me because you've cut off all your ties with the EU. Now, you might have some partners on the other side of the channel there that might be able to help out. So if you still have connections, I hope you didn't burn all those bridges whenever you orchestrated Brexit. Now, I wouldn't be surprised, we have doctors, music theorists, engineers, all high-ranking members of society, because I have this filter set on my channel where you basically have to be, kind of a PhD level equivalent human being to even click into my stream to watch it. Why? Because, we're trying to cultivate an environment of, humans at the peak of society. This is supposed to be kind of like, that resort in California. My bands are pink, dark to light. Very interesting. Were you referring to the observational study called maternal and birth attainment hand washing and neonatal mortality in southern Nepal, which evaluated the relationship between neonatal mortality in rural Nepal and the hand washing practices of mothers and their birth attendants? I don't know if that's the specific study I was referencing, but I think it was basically that. I think that was more similar. I wasn't talking about the doctors. I'm pretty sure that's what it's like I think it was either in Nepal or India or something, but that does sound quite similar to what I was talking about. I'm glad you're really engaging with the topic. I'm sure that will cover the same things. It was in a book. What book was it? I think it might have been in this book. Okay, let's see if it's in the um, if it's in the fundamentals. No. Okay, we're not gonna find it. I give up. Uh, Sounds like something you would do. Okay, go help organize the thing. Now, here we go. We have to do 5 pull-ups. We have to continue on. We can't get distracted by researching studies to try to give a better analysis of what I was referencing. But that does sound quite familiar. I was kind of just barely remembering it. Oh my God, here we go. And then one more set of 4, and that'll place us into the completing my daily Russian fighter pull-up program tasking. Now, why would I say daily if I didn't do it yesterday? Well, because it's not daily, I consider the rest day also part of the days of doing the program. So does that mean that, working out every day, does a rest day count as working out? I would say no, but, it depends on what you consider working out, because different people define working out different ways. I feel you have not done it daily. Okay, I said that out loud and then I caught myself because I realized I haven't actually been doing it daily. But I've been doing it like every other day almost. I think I might have missed a couple days here or there. But I kind of do it whenever I look at the board and I remember to do it. That's how daily we do it. I daily decide whether or not to do it. Right? I decide every single day to or to not, depending on how I'm feeling, emotionally, and all these other factors, because there's a lot of data that is driven behind these decisions. That's why data analytics is such an important field. Oh God. Okay, here we go. The real problem is, if you're in data analytics, you're basically going to have to, kind of transition into machine learning because, you think about it, your job's going to be robbed by the machines. Anyone that does web design, their job's going to be robbed by, GitHub Autopilot. I meant Copilot, but I saw this study today that like 42% of people that drive Teslas feel 100% safe not touching the wheel or like not being in the driver's seat while their Tesla is driving around. It's kind of weird how you get so much like conflicting information. Like everyone, you hear all these people go, "Oh, Tesla's autopilot shit," but then like 50% of Tesla drivers feel like, "Oh, I can sleep." No, 42% feel like the Tesla autopilot will just drive around and they don't even have to pay attention. Like they feel comfortable looking at their phone or not even looking at the road. I'm really good at machine learning. I don't know why I heard 100%. I don't know. Maybe I misspoke. I thought 42 in my mind, but you're already really good at machine learning. What do you do? What's your preferred machine learning? Do you like machine learning? You use like okay, we're going to transition topics. I don't feel like covering this right now because my brain just shoved because I was trying to have a conversation, but I failed. Now, I'd honestly be too scared to. Well, it's all about you get in it the first time and you're terrified, right? But then after the 100th time, it goes no fine. You're like, oh, I just got a notification. I'll check it. And then the next time, oh, I got a notification. Oh, and what's this, right? So you slowly desensitize yourself to it and then eventually over time you'll get used to it. It's kind of like the first time you drove a car. Oh, this is terrifying. But then you get more and more comfortable doing it, and then eventually you're talking on the phone, eating a sandwich. It doesn't go fine, and I die, so I'll pass. Well, luckily they're some of the safest ready cars in America. Ooh. Uh, Machine learning, but is if statements to you. Exactly, that's all you need. Else if. Okay, I actually understand what you typed. At first I was kind of stun locked. I thought you were making some type of stutter joke. Uh, it's just a while true and then a bunch of if else. Actually true. Mm-hmm. Okay, now where was I? We were definitely talking about something extremely topical and important to people in modern society. A lot of people don't realize the negative side effects that can happen from abusing, dopamine. Because your brain only can produce so much, and then eventually you'll get that disease, Parkinson's or whatever. No, that's not Parkinson's. What's the disease where you don't have any more, dopamine anymore? That's quite sad. It ruins your ability to move around. So you really don't want to waste anymore. But the problem is a lot of people go, oh, I'm going to go on a dopamine fast, right? And they think that's a good idea. But the problem is your brain, it's a finite resource. So your brain actually can produce dopamine each day. So you don't really need to, go on a fast from it. You just have to, limit things that consume too much dopamine. Like for me personally, that's why I had to really automate the follower goal. Because, manually updating the follower goal was just giving me too much dopamine. Don't touch my feet. Feel good brain juice. I did not know I read don't touch my feet. Good brain juice. I don't know. I just assumed Hydran was going to type that. You see, words are too far away. The L and the T. This is why the Latin. Wait, who actually designed this this alphabet? I don't remember. Let's go ahead and look it up. Who designed the alphabet? Who created the alphabet? Living near Egypt. I don't know how to pronounce this word. Semitic? No, I don't want the first alphabet. I want to know about the current alphabet. Who created? Okay, I can't see it. It's Parkinson's disease? Oh, it is Parkinson's disease. Look at this. You see how useful? I like people that randomly answer the things I say. That's pretty helpful. Now, here we go. I feel like I'm about to hit a handstand PR, everyone. Everyone prepare yourself. I'm hyping everyone up. This is it right here. If I fail now, nothing ever is going to go my way. Oh, that was a horrible attempt. That didn't count. Oh, okay. Was that correct? Was that a PR? No, that didn't count. Okay, those were warm-ups. You always have to warm up. If you look at any time I work out on stream, when I'm going to go for a big attempt, we warm up to it. So you thought that was the attempt, but I was just discussing we're heading towards a handstand PR. And it's going to take a couple minutes of warming up, making sure the lats are firing properly, and then we'll kind of get into it, okay? So, we got to make sure we're cooled down. The brain, the blood goes back into the heart. My left heart is now beating properly. My right heart chamber is beating properly. Okay, here we go. Oh no. Okay, the thing is like I'm trying to change. Wait, I need to go and see what I'm doing because I feel like I'm more up and down, but I don't know if I'm actually more like less banana-y. You know what I'm talking about? You guys know about the banana technique? But I could just be as banana-y as ever. It's hard to really know. But I can't actually see what's happening. I never know what's going on in the stream. Okay, wait, let me look. Ugh, okay. That's pretty banana-y, but I feel like it's not as banana-y. The thing is when you're on, like I'm looking up, but some people say look at your hands, but then some people say don't look at your hands. So it's like, which one am I supposed to look at? We only have so many things I can look at. Wait, let's just try a regular handstand and see what happens. Oh, that feels so weird. Oh my god. Wait, that was actually pretty good. Not bad. Okay, so the bar handstands actually transfers over to the floor handstands, right? That's interesting. Why? Because the bar handstands, you can't rely on your hands to balance. You have to learn how to balance with like your shoulders and your body weight. So proud. Well, I only have put your stomach away. What is up, Banger? Welcome to the stream. I try to keep it away, but I can't tuck in my shirt because people will get angry at me. They're like, "Oh no, that's not stylish." So, a lot of people care about my way I dress myself. They're like, "Oh, wear this shirt. Don't wear that shirt." All these things. Ugh. But we're getting better. That's good to see. But I want to get better at the pole handstands. Okay. Tell you if it's stylish or not. Some people can pull it off, okay? I'm pretty sure I can pull it off because I can pull off anything. It's kind of like my mental attitude. This is how you have to wear it. You have to put your hands on your wrists afterwards. It's really about the clothing, right? It's about the wastedness and everything. But now we're just gonna do it because it's too late. I don't know if I can trust your opinion, We have to test to see. To be honest, it doesn't look that bad. Not that bad. It's pretty good. Okay, now look at this. This is gonna improve my handstands. No, I failed. Oh, it didn't improve my handstands one bit. That's depressing. I just lied. It looks bad. Nerd. Okay, see, look, I tucked my shirt in. Now I'm getting harassed. People are like, oh no. The only reason we watch the stream is because. How does this. I'm too positive for your own good sometimes. So you're saying it looked horrible, so this just looks way better. I feel like it looks exactly the same. That's quite interesting. Ugh. Now, here we are. We have to somehow figure out what's going on. I feel like, listen, it's all in your mind, okay? It doesn't look bad. It actually looked great. We're going to start only wearing tucked in shirts from now on to fight against, the systemic issues with people thinking style matters. We can't see your tummy anymore. So you're saying the only reason you watch the stream is because when I do a handstand, it falls down and you can see access to my dermis, as well as kind of almost peer into my digestive tract. Oh God, that's quite dangerous. Hydration. Okay, I need to figure out what's going on. I feel like, I guess it might be fatigue from training yesterday. Okay, wait, no, what we can do for fun is go and do some like pseudo planche training, right? Because we need to be able to press it. Restart the assessment. The assessment has been completely restarted. It are so good right now. You're saying they seem to be improving. The thing is from my perspective, my handstands are the same as they've always been. Go like 1 foot. Oh my God. I do not have like the push strength required to do that. You know, still remains untested. Hmm. It's actually not untested. We did it like 3 weeks ago or something. I don't remember the exact date. It was on a shoulder day because I got overheated. We only take the shirt off if I'm dying from heat exhaustion. Really want me shirtless? True. For some reason. No, no. You know what I should do is do what I did before, right? I'm trying to keep the feet together, but realistically, that's not what really allowed us to get to this point. The technology where we kicked against the wall like this, boom, boom, boom. That's what allowed us to climb to the highest ranks and achieve greatness. saving for jumping jacks from now on. Jumping jacks over the hanging upside down technology. This would be too sketchy to do it like this. I don't think I have like the leg strength required to do like a reverse. I'm glad that you're doing jumping jacks from now on because you're gonna save the top of my feet a lot of pain and suffering and sadness. That's a real banana-y. That's why I never buy bat hangs because you says it hurts your feet. I get too stressed. It hurts, but it hurts like imagine your entire body weight. Like just stand, have someone like stand um with like half their weight on this part of your foot, and then that's kind of like the amount of pain. So like you can kind of do it with one of your feet. Just put one of your foot right on your other foot and then put your entire body weight onto it. And then that's what it feels like. So it's not like horrible, right? It's survivable, right? It's not like it's having long-term negative side effects. It's just, not the most comfortable of thing. Now when it was like that one time where it was like bruised or something, that was kind of annoying. Okay, I need to stop doing this. I don't know. I was doing it. I was like, wow, that actually feels. It's like a little bit not as bad because I can't really put half my body weight onto my other foot, but it's pretty close. But it's not a bar. Oh, if you do it with your heel, oh, okay, the heel actually recreates it. So don't put your foot like this. Put your heel right here. Am I far enough away? And then put your body weight into it, and then that'll be basically how it feels. So if you can get used to that, then you can eventually learn how to bat hang. It's on every foot half body weight. Exactly. But I'm just saying if you put your heel right here on your foot and stand and distribute your body weight through both feet, that's pretty close to how it feels to hang from one of your feet. Right? The feeling on the foot that's on the ground. You need to work on just not. That was actually pretty good. Okay. I told you the thing we need to do is the kicking drill. I did the kicking drill once and you saw that. That was like a 3, 4, 5 second handstand, okay? Out of the blue, out of nowhere. The muscular autonomy, the muscle memory, very consistent. We're improving. I remember back in the day, I could barely do anything. We're seeing the come up, the improvement, the training, the necessity of it, right? We do one thing, we do another thing. The addiction. Oh no, that was a failure. You're going to be a Swedish monk. Do they even have Swedish monks? I guess you could just be a monk in Swinland, Sweden. I guess that would work. Why should I judge your life decisions? That's a very interesting line of work you're going to go into. Um, I'm sure, I wish you the best of luck there. I thought you wanted to be a power lifter. You've changed your entire hopes and dreams. Swiss monk. Um, so Switzerland, other than Swedish, so you're just rapidly changing countries. Is Switzerland known for its monasteries? They do have a lot of mountains, and I feel like that's where the monks like to be. Is that just me, stereotyping based off television? Look at these, my shoes. They're getting worn down. Isn't that kind of weird? There's like missing here, but why? What does this mean? Does this mean I like kick the floor or something? Does this mean I drag my feet? Any foot strike experts can tell me why the tip of my shoes are worn down compared to the rest of the tread. Um, Switzerland has dragons. That's quite loud. Oh my! I did 3 because I saw you redeemed 3 things. I scammed myself. You're doing like some type of psyop on me. You've lulled me into like some type of complacence by only redeeming jumping jacks. So now I just assume it's all jumping jacks. It's obviously shoe goblins. So you're saying shoe goblins are chewing on my shoes, not allowing me to really achieve my hopes and dreams. Since someone told me they thought I was the Dragonborn, I think you might be confused when you're playing Skyrim. Um, it's not really. It's not really. They're not talking to you, okay? They're talking to the character in the game. My whoever lives below me must hate this right now. They probably can't hear it. You know, we're on the yoga mat. So realistically speaking, you know, people say, "Oh wow, wear the white tank top more often." But the problem is you know, it doesn't wash well. So if I wear it, you know, you don't want to wear it too often because it's a very fragile material. But that's not really an excuse, right? Oh my, what's going on? People are obsessed with jumping jacks. Oh, wait, someone wanted me to add a new exercise, right? Does anyone have any ideas? Okay, because you can't just give a general idea, right? Like, think of a specific exercise, and then we can weigh the merits. So you could wear it. What? Just wear it, and then don't wash it, and just wear it every single stream. And it can be like my stream clothes, and they'll just smell bad. Kind of like how some people have like gym clothes, and then they smell horrible. Very interesting. That they just keep in their gym bag 24/7. Not every single stream. Ugh, that would be horrendous. That would be like a uniform. Once we get the Nike sponsorship, we'll get the Nike merch, and I'll have a Nike tank top to wear every single stream, and everyone will be like, "Wait, we're kind of tired. Go back to wearing your Mongols T-shirt because the Mongols are the exception in history. You know, they invaded burpees. Burpees. You want me to add burpees? Yeah, but the problem with burpees is they'd have to cost like 500 or something because it's like a push up, a jump, right? Because a burpee we have to. And the other problem with burpees is, you know, if we're gonna do them, space wise, I'd almost feel like I'd have to go this way because you know you kind of like something like that, right? So it's kind of like explosive. How buff you are, well, so that's why it's a fan favorite. We don't like the low key. See, the problem that I guess that's not a bad idea. I guess we could add it, but I guess what do you guys think is a adequate, you know, cost for burpees? Because it has to be more expensive than a push-up, right? And then more expensive than a jumping jack because you also jump, right? Because it's a push-up and then a jump. Um, so if we think about it, I guess it's not a horrible idea. You know, some people might enjoy burpees. Oh, okay. Is 2 points? Okay, why do I consult you guys with anything? You know, no one ever says, "Oh wow, how about you do this many actions or that many actions?" Okay, channel points, add. Anyone has any other ideas? We'll add them right now. I have the screen open. 10 points. Add channel point rewards. Do one burpee. 500. Yeah, that's fair. I feel like it's more work than a pull up, to be honest. Background colors, blue is fine. Create. Average of push up and jumping jack times 0.15. Calculator. I don't even know how much those cost. Okay, let's check. Um, push up. Jumping jack's 100. 100. Okay, 100 plus 200. It's 150, but I'll do the math. Times 1.5. 225? You think it should be half off? 250? Oh my god. Cheaper than a handstand? A burpee? Okay, I'll put burpees at 400, okay? I'll knock burpees down to 400. I I feel like 400 is fair. Okay, if it's not used very often, we might bump it up. 100,000 become a VIP. Wait, do not talk for 1 minute, 1K? A whole minute? That's a long time. Okay, add custom reward. Don't talk for 1 minute. 10,000. No, I'm gonna make it 5,000 points. Add. There we go. It's now 5,000 points. I won't talk for a whole minute. My math is fair, and anything beyond that is a scam. The average, it's literally barely more expensive than a push-up at that point, and it's a lot more because you have to jump, like you have to dynamically move. Scam. How's that a scam? 5K, a whole minute. Bat hangs only take 5 seconds, okay? Not talking is way more painful than having a pressure on the top of my feet. Now, if you're talking about the burpee price is a scam, I think it's fair. You know, I'd much rather do 5 jumping jacks than 1 burpee. It's not a scam. Oh, you're calling data analytics a scam, or data basics a scam. Very interesting. Highlight a message. If you want to highlight a message, just do @Draco, right? That's how you can highlight a message. Now, if you want to add it, highlight it for everyone, just @every single person in the chat. Do a burpee. Oh my God. 400. I made that way too cheap. This was a horrible idea. How many points? Remember, Justin bet like 5,000 on the hang thing, so he won like a bunch of points from he stole all of Zace's channel points as well. So that's kind of what happened there. And Justin's been watching for a while and never redeemed anything until today. He basically spent them all. Not enough. Well, that's the sad thing, but now that you got that gifted sub, I think that you really have access to more things. It's my idea. It was your idea, and it was a absolutely evil idea. Ooh. Boom. See, that's like way more effort than just doing a couple push-ups, and I'm like jumping around like a psycho here on the second floor of my apartment. That is way better practice. You should probably make it like 600 or 700. I don't know, it's not that bad, but it's just like kind of pretty annoying. I feel like it's fair. We'll see. If it gets abused, then we'll up the price, right? And everything might have to have a price increase one day, but right now I feel like everything's fine. Like, you guys haven't been able to murder me, but I'm sure if you guys coordinated one way, it would probably happen. I'm going to train tomorrow and get classes I need for personal training. That's exciting. You're going to become a real life trainer, and then you're going to fly to Switzerland and get a Swiss. It's actually pretty hard to get a Swiss citizenship, isn't it? You basically have to like marry into it, I think. You're going to have to, anyone from the chat from Switzerland that wants to, marry Banger. Well, I'm glad you're, going back to school. That's really important. When you're rich and famous, listen, I'll never forget anyone. My brain is like a rock solid individual, and we got the logs on the Discord so I can scroll back up when I'm feeling nostalgic. Back in the good old days when it was just me and all my good friends here. I was thinking the beef jerky I'm eating has some bone fragments. That's quite not very exciting, and you might get some calcium there, so look at the bright side. You're going to be a Swiss powerlifter. I feel like if you want to be a powerlifter, you should do it in America, because isn't that we're like the most competitive, other than like all the other countries that are better than us at it. But like other than those ones, we're pretty much the best. So I think your best luck is here now. Now the thing is realistically, the burpee and the pull-up are priced the same. Is that fair? I think that's fair. But most people could probably do burpees before they could do pull-ups. So are burpees easier? Was data basics actually the more accurate scientific method? Swiss monk powerlifter. I would probably recommend focusing in on one thing. Are you becoming a monk just because that girl you saw at the gym the other day didn't want to be your friend, so now you're all sad, but you didn't even try to talk to her? So now you've decided to go your own way and become a monk and not interact with any humans for the rest of your life? Quite sad. Not sad as in like, oh, I'm sad for you. It's just sad that, in general, that you didn't achieve everything you've ever wanted to achieve, but you can still achieve it in the future. So that's a happy. Look at the future; it's infinite possibilities. You go look at someone like Jeff Bezos. He was some loser just with some website that barely had any money in his 30s, but now he's a billionaire. Someone at the gym was talking shit. Was shit talking me even though I was nice. Burpees are easier in my opinion. I can't do pull-ups, but I think it's because I'm high. Talking shit in general or talking shit at you? They're like, oh, look at this guy. He's mean to everyone and calls people weak, but he's not even the strongest one here. And now you're like, oh, I'm so sad. I just want friends. That's unfortunate. Okay, we need to practice sitting down, right? Because in the future, if I ever want to do another, sitting stream, I'm gonna have to get better at sitting. That's one thing. A lot of people go, oh, how are you gonna get better at streaming? Like, what are you gonna do specifically? I'm like, that's a great question. I think we're probably. The annoying thing is when I sit here, I'm not in front of the camera, so I have to like sit here because that's the most important thing, feeling centered on your screen. Right? Because it's awkward if I'm off to the side, because then you're going to have to crane your neck, and that'll cause you severe health issues. But now I'm going to be looking off to the side so I can read the chat, because that's like a face-to-face conversation. Me looking at the camera is quite unnerving, because I'm just staring into this circle. You're high. Very interesting. In the air or something. But sitting, oh my, how do people do it? I'm actually impressed. There's streamers out there, they can just sit here and talk for like 16 hours straight. I feel like I'd lose my mind. I guess maybe if there was like enough stuff going on, I could like do it. Or maybe it's because, I actually see them all sitting in chairs and stuff. Is it really the cooler? Can we do a poll? Wait. Wait, let's see if people will vote. Sitting. Sitting? No, that's not sitting. Sitting. How do you spell sitting? Is it better in a chair or cooler? On chair, cooler. Honestly, this is the only reason I wanted to start streaming. You know how many times I have a question for the general humanity population, and I can't get a good answer on it. But now that I'm a streamer, I can just, throw polls out there into the world. Oh my God, so we have two people. 60% of people seem to prefer sitting in a chair over a cooler. That's very interesting. So that would make me kind of believe that the chair might be the superior technology. At least there's a kindred spirit with me out there thinking that the cooler technology is the superior sitting apparatus. I think it can be quite good because you can go straight from sitting on the cooler into an ab workout. You see, you go like this. Sitting wrong? The fact you actually spelt sitting wrong. Really, I did? Let me Google it. Sitting.
Sight.
Oh, that's sighting. That's like, oh, I'm sighting down a line. Maybe that's why people are confused, because like sighting's kind of like looking at something from a distance, so they think, oh, it's better to look at a cooler other than a chair. Okay, so we have more people thinking that it's better to fix or build something in place. So the action of fixing or building a cooler is better than fixing or a chair. But I said it out loud, so I feel like people should get the general context. Time to calculate the margin of error. You see, the problem is now we have a situation where it's 50-50. So I really don't think at this point that, is that called a plank? I don't know what it's called. Have you ever sat on a cooler in the summer? Well, isn't it the summer right now? No, it's technically the fall. Wait, was I streaming? When did I get the cooler? I think I got the cooler like at the beginning of fall. So I guess I've never sat on a cooler in the summer. Well, I shouldn't say never. Okay, so you can lean back in a chair, but it turns out you can't lean backwards on a cooler. That's quite dangerous, and chair and cooler both won. So I guess I shouldn't really invest into a chair. The cooler is here to stay for the long haul. I want a gymnastics ball. Listen, gymnastics balls aren't really all that hyped up to be. I've had them throughout periods of my life. They're quite disappointing. You get them like, oh, this is exciting, and then you sit on it and you're like, whoa, this is kind of just like sitting on anything else. It's very similar to a cooler, and that's basically it. You can use it as a drum. I almost just fell. That was quite terrifying. I'm glad I have quick reactions. My brain went into assessment mode. I was like, okay, I need to go here, do this in order to stop myself from slamming my brain right into this metal disc that's right behind my head right now. Um, welcome. Oh, you're already here. You said hello earlier in the stream, Anna. That's my fault for forgetting that. So I will be posting an official apology video tomorrow on my YouTube channel. Oh, that was the Discord sound. That was terrifying. I thought it was a work message. That is an exercise ball, or I guess a gymnastics ball, depending on what you want to call it. True. Uh, they are useful for, maybe doing back bends, maybe probably for whatever they're specifically used for. How's my water going? It's too far away. It's annoying because day to day I store my water bottle right here and I can't keep it there. You owe me like 5 different people, different apology videos now. Realistically speaking, I posted them all, but they're all unlisted and private, and I personally DM the people. I personally DM the people the apology videos after I record and upload them. Oh no, I failed. Nope. Not happening. Okay, we're getting too fatigued to do any more handstand practicing. We need to move on. That was quite loud. Now you're just lying. Am I lying? Do you have any proof? Um, is it a lie? Now let's think about that. Let's analyze, is it a lie? Have I recorded a single apology video? I would say in my entire life, I probably have at least recorded some apology videos. Now, did I personally send them to the person I was apologizing to? Most likely no. Okay, so was that a lie? I would say it's kind of a bending of the truth, because if I hadn't recorded any, but if I did record one, I would send it to someone, right? You eat raw Pop-Tarts was an attack against me, so I'll need an apology video as well. Well, we'll definitely consider making one and sending that to you very soon. But the problem is that I really need to understand the sentiment of the world, right? Because you only want to apologize for something if it upsets the sentiment of the public, right? Because you're not really apologizing to a specific person. You're basically apologizing to the public in general, okay? So now I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about yoga. A lot of people, they want the yoga content. So this right here is what we call savasana. So you're going to want to find, a nice yoga block. If you can't get a yoga block, maybe get a pillow. That can also work. It's not as good. A pillow is actually a very useful tool when you're using yoga. You can use it to prop up your hips to get yourself into a deeper angle to really open them up. Because if you have tight hips, sitting on the ground's really not going to be the best for you. It's going to take some time before you're able to sit on the ground without impinging your hip joint. So you're going to want a pillow or a yoga block. A lot of people will go wish and wash between the pillow and the yoga block. I personally prefer the pillow because, it gives you a little bit more movement. Like the yoga block can impinge you a little bit more because it's a harder surface, but the pillow's a little bit forgiving. But basically, yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. It's pretty crazy that actually maybe it's my laptop that I can hear the Discord notification from and not my headphones. I guess that would make more sense because what are the odds the headphones are so loud I can hear them from like 10 feet away? Probably pretty low. But realistically speaking, Savasana is a very good yoga pose for really dropping your heart rate. Now, if you want to lower your resting heart rate or your current heart rate or any heart rate, what you're going to want to pay attention to if you're wearing a heart rate monitor right now is just focus on breathing out. So breathe out more than you're breathing in. So like breathe out a whole bunch and then just breathe in a little until like don't feel out of breath, right? You shouldn't feel out of breath, but just focus on breathing out for like 5 seconds and then breathe in for like 1 second. And that'll slowly over time, like over a minute or two, you'll drop your heart rate. Like when I was at work one time, I dropped my heart rate like below my normal resting heart rate from just doing that for like an hour. Now I know what you're thinking. Shouldn't I have been actually doing something? Um, and gonna sleep. Okay, good. Go to sleep right now. Ugh. Yoga King, exactly. I hope everyone's following along with the yoga technology right now, improving themselves, improving day-to-day functionality of their life. Yoga is actually, the bad thing about yoga is if you're a runner, a lot of a lot of runners that do yoga, I combined the word yoga and runners, get injured. Why is that? It's because, runners are actually meant to be tight. Why? Because, you know, You only need to be as flexible as what activity you need to do. Excess flexibility is not necessary in today's society. Ugh, ugh, gray. Why is my? I just realized that all my bedding is gray. Is that on purpose? That's pretty crazy. Isn't that kind of gray scale? That's kind of boring and bland. Um, is that true though? Yes, it's true. You can look it up. Excess flexibility is not really all that great. Um, like especially if you're trying to do sports. If you're in a sport, you only want it to be as flexible as necessary. You don't want to be extra flexible. Now you can be too tight, but um, most of the time, if you can do everything you want to do in the sport or daily life, you don't really need to be any more flexible. But if there's stuff that your current ability is locking you out of, then you could probably want to become a bit more flexible. Now, am I saying flexibility is bad? No, if it's like your hobby to try to become more flexible, that's fine. But I'm just saying for athletes in general, it's not really that great to be like, oh, I want to be more flexible. Then you might be saying, oh, then why are you trying to achieve the splits? Well, I'm not really, but it is on my bucket list before I kick the bucket to eventually achieve the splits. You might be thinking, that sounds like a long term goal. Shouldn't you be working towards that actively? Well, the thing is, realistically, since I'm so deluded into thinking I'm going to become immortal, I don't really feel in a rush to accomplish anything because eventually, as the centuries go by, I'll eventually dedicate 100 years to stretching inside a concrete room with no access to the outside world except for food and water. You'd never practice the splits. Yeah, but it is on my bucket list, okay? I have a very long bucket list. It's like achieve the splits, um, do a one arm pull up, um, handstand, freestanding handstand push up. Okay, those are like everything on my bucket list, and then I can die happy. You might be saying, for someone that's going to be immortal, isn't that quite a short bucket list? Well, realistically, I just want to live a content life forever, where I'm like, whoa, I can do everything I've ever wanted to. Um, okay. But we are working towards one of those things, right? So that's all that matters. Oh my God. Why are my legs tired? That makes no sense. That's leg fatigue. That's a symptom of COVID. Um, so I think I might be dying. Maybe I should go take one of those rapid tests. Um, okay. I can't ever get sick. Imagine if I ever get sick, that's going to ruin my stream schedule because you're not really supposed to work out when you're sick because that's going to lower your ability to recover from said disease. So we're going to really have to be careful with that. I'm going to have to, we'll call that segment of Draco's Pillow Talk. I mean, we could. I do think people. I noticed one thing. I think some people might prefer that section of the stream because, or a sitting section of the stream because apparently some people have been told multiple times that me walking around gives them anxiety, and people have told me that in real life, right? If you're just like not sitting down in a chair, people don't like it. They go, "Oh, please sit in a chair." Chairs are pretty cool. Um, and I'm like, listen, chairs are kind of cringe. I hate chairs. I just want to pace in circles. Like we're in a meeting, like all the big wigs at the company, they're sitting around the table, and I just set up and I just I just walk into the meeting first. I go to the head of the table and I just pace back and forth. Okay, I claim like a whole section of it. Why? Because I think better on my feet, and the people know that. And you might be saying, oh, that's probably why you're not getting promoted because people think you're weird. Well, weirdness is actually a boon in society. People go, wow, that guy, he's not a setting on a washing machine. If I had to define him, I'd define him as specifically not a setting on a washing machine. That's one of the things I say in my interviews. They go, what are some of your strengths? I say, one of my strengths is I'm really not a setting on a washing machine. That was quite loud. Okay, I feel like I'm just repeating the same entire uh, brain function waves. I think of something, I talk about it. And then the next thing I think of, I talk about that. That's called insanity. Repeating the same actions over and over again and expecting a different result. What result am I expecting to be different? The result is I'm expecting myself to somehow improve in my ability to function as a human. Don't most people do the same things every single day for basically their entire life? It doesn't that make everyone insane? Carrots. Hmm. You know what? One time I did was I got rid of my desk, right? So I just used my computer on the floor, and that really, if you're trying to break computer addiction, just put your computer on the floor, and you'll really spend a lot less time on your computer. It's kind of an ancient technique not known to most people. You can do the same thing with like, oh, get rid of your chair. Oh, um, you're spending too much time on your phone. Oh, just get rid of your phone, right? It's pretty easy. But don't get rid of your phone, right? I didn't get rid of the computer. I got rid of what facilitates me being on the computer, the desk, right? You get rid of the desk. Oh, using the computer kind of sucks. Oh, you want to break phone addiction? Get rid of whatever makes it easy to use your phone, right? Maybe put some type of password, like a 60-digit password that you have to memorize. So you have to go type the whole thing in. If you make one typo, you just burned a whole minute of your life, right? I bet you will use your phone a lot less. These are kind of life hacks. You can only gain access to here. Okay, I don't. It's a failure. No, 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 no. Okay. Anyway, do I have anything to cook? I think I accidentally used up all of my food yesterday, and I didn't think about what I was going to eat today. Is that true? Uh oh. Uh oh. I went to the grocery store today as well. Strength training of thought. Exactly. Progressive overload our brains. That's what we need to do. We need people kind of bringing in strange thoughts in order to really progressively overload what's going on in our head, right? Very interesting. A lot of things can be thought about in the concept of strength training. Everything is strength training. You never have food. Well, that's because I go to the grocery store every day. Like today, I went to the grocery store and I bought a bag of potatoes, and I bought what else did I get? I got a bag of potatoes, and I think I might have actually only got a bag of potatoes, but that's because I needed it for breakfast. Um, and then I didn't get anything else. So, I should have really looked if I had enough food. But the days I do have enough food, I don't talk about it. So, from your perspective, it looks like I never have enough food because I only talk about it. I don't say, oh, wow, I have enough food this day, right? Oh, I just realized something I can do. Look at this. This is. Ooh. Okay, that didn't work as well as I thought it would. I was like, imagine if I could just lay right here and I'll be perfectly in frame and I'll also be able to just lay down. Because people, for some reason, I don't know what I was about to say there. I was hoping something was going to pop into my mind. Sleep streams. I thought everything was yoga. Well, everything is yoga. Really, you can kind of break down any movement into yoga. So, like cooking is yoga, because it's kind of like everything's kung fu, right? Because everything's just mastery through movement. So, like, what is the definition? Definition of yoga. Let's see it right here. Includes breath control, simple meditation, and adaptation of specific body postures. Okay, so think about it. Everything is basically breath control. You can constantly meditate. So I do yoga all the time. Exactly. Uh, Look at this. Look at this balance. Who can stand on one leg for prolonged periods of time? That wasn't even that long. That was like 15 seconds. But realistically, I'm only doing this to warm up my feet. This actually works great. This is so nice. You see, the problem is once your feet gets cold, a lot of people think they have poor circulation. They don't have poor circulation. It's actually how your body's designed. Once an extremity gets cold, your heart's not going to do the extra work to warm it back up. So you have to heat it up yourself, and then your body will support its temperature. But if it starts to get cold due to extraneous situations like a cold floor or something like this, then it's really not going to be able to support its own temperature. But once you warm it back up, you'll be good for like an hour or two. So it's not your circulation. So then if you don't warm it back up, then your circulation might be poor because the veins aren't getting used. So then they might shrivel up, osmosify, solidify, something like this. So realistically, you have to heat them up yourself instead of trying to rely on your heart to do it, because your heart's not going to waste all that energy to pump cold blood back into itself, because that's going to lower your core body temperature. And if an extremity is already cold, it's going to assume it's going to get cold again. So it's not worth pumping the extra blood. Um, any doctors in the chat? Wait, didn't Says say he was a doctor? Is what I just said true? I read it in this book. go put that back away. Look at this. We'll do some yoga. Look at this. Only do that for like 5 seconds. How long are you supposed to hold things? When I used to do yoga, sometimes I would just hold positions for like extended periods of time, like 15, like a minute, like 30 seconds to a minute. The problem I have with yoga is whenever I did my yoga, when I used to do yoga, I'd like hold it for breaths, but I can't really breathe and talk at the same. Like I can't breathe, count my breaths, and talk at the same time. So it's really gonna be hard for me to track my progress. And then if I do it just like randomly, where I just arbitrarily hold the poses for a period of time, it's like, oh, this is impossible to count, right? Uh, it's good I haven't been stretching then. Exactly. Stretching really will kill you. I mean, not really. Like, if stretching is only bad if you're overstretching. Understretching is equally bad, right? But if you're doing a sport, the sport is kind of like an active stretch, and it sucked. You tried a single time, you should probably try something at least 17 times. That's my rule of thumb. People are like, oh, do you want to try this? I'm like, oh, I'll try anything 17 times because you really need to be able to formulate an opinion about it. You know what they say, uh, one time that's lucky, two times that's lucky, three times that's lucky. Until you get to 18 times, then that's unlucky. Hmm. Now, one issue I'm having. Oh wait, are they in here? Where are my blue shorts? No, they're in the. Okay, we have an issue. I realized it today. These red shorts are older than the blue shorts. But look at this. Okay, everyone, we have a big issue here. These are starting to fall apart. Okay, you see this side? This band is completely stitched all the way through. You see the blue stitch? We go over to this side. It's completely gone. That is not good. There's like strings all over them, and they're getting destroyed. These are like about a year old or something. Nike, they're not making a high quality product anymore. Those red shorts are probably like 4 years old, 5 years old. No, those red shorts are like 6 years old, and they're still fine. The blue shorts, they're already getting trashed. It's quite pathetic. I expect higher quality. Nike, their quality's dropping these latest years. It's called fast fashion. They want their clothes to go bad, so you go and buy new ones. That's why they don't look as cool as the blue ones, because these last longer. New shorts incoming. Wait, Kay, were you ever here for my old shorts that got stolen from my hotel room? Those are my favorite shorts. I need to go buy some more pairs of those. But they got robbed from me. I think someone was cleaning my room, like, oh, these are some nice shorts, and they just took them right from underneath me. That's why I'm gonna lock up my suitcase from now on. I'm not gonna leave any shorts out in the open. You've just heard about them. Dang, they were pretty much the greatest shorts of all time. I need to get some more, but they're like $65. And really, realistically, we're trying to save up for a bench instead of buying new shorts. And why would I go spend money on shorts if I'm just going to not lose them, get robbed in the future? Yeah, but those shorts lasted a long time. So, if something's going to last, like these shorts, they're like 6 years old. So if these cost me like $40, $50, I'll be like, okay, if they last me like a long time, that'll be a lot better than buying a $10 short that's only going to last me a year, right? Those blue ones, they're basically gone in the wind after 1 year. It's pathetic. So that's why you should buy high quality things. You should do the same. Well, I prefer to buy something that'll last a lifetime. But you're saying, oh, why did you buy? I assume the blue ones would be high quality like these red ones because they're from the same brand. But I guess Nike, it's true what they say. Okay, why do I keep getting? On the bright side, no one from work has messaged me in like 45 minutes. So that must mean things are cooling down on the work front. That's quite good to see. Okay, it's time to sit down. You know what time it is. We've been live for a prolonged period of time. We've had some great discussions here. We've had a lot of fun. You have to save all your money forever to pay to live forever. Well, the thing is really, it's going to be a lot. Everyone's going to be, well, not everyone's going to be rich, right? But it's really easy to become rich if you're immortal. So the first people that are going to become immortal are going to be the richest. because you know how compound interest works. And then if you don't die, you're not going to hand off any money to your children, or not a substantial portion of your welfare. So then, really, land is going to become a premium. So really, you should be buying up land. That's why you see not Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates purchasing up large amounts of land, because if he becomes immortal, realistically, he's going to that land is going to be worth a lot in like 10,000 years. So it's a really good investment right now, before people are thinking along these lines. Ooh, but you know, we've been live for 3 hours. You know, that's the time I try to aim for at the minimum, at the maximum for my during the week streams. Why? Because any longer, you know, we need to make sure I can consistently stream. You know, I can't burn myself out. If I get burned out, the worst will happen. I'll have to do 30-minute, 40-minute streams. And those are untenable, because then we miss out on interacting with people. They miss their channel point, daily resurgence, development. But you know, we're here every single day, really working out, trying to do something. You know, handstands, pull-ups, push-ups. Tomorrow is going to be some more exciting content. You know, we're going to try developing something entirely new. Is it going to work out? I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes off at work, if I'm busy or if I'm not busy. But you know, I really do appreciate everyone that showed up today, and I'll really kind of look into figuring out what needs to happen. Anyway, I do appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you all again, maybe in the future, but maybe not again in the future. You know, it's quite sad, but you know, you said that you need to, you're trying not to fail, so maybe you should go do some homework or something. But I'll see you again in the future. Goodbye. Sleep well. Thank you.